What's poppin'? Yo, what up? Good afternoon.
Actually, yeah, good afternoon.
Servers have been down for five ever. Was gonna stream yesterday, but the server's been down basically all day for over 24 hours now. Is it ever coming up? That's a good question. Maybe. Moonkin is looking giga busted next tier. What did they buff? I saw they nerfed Wing Deleter. Aura buffed 5%. Ascendant Eclipse is buffed by 10%. I mean, how much of my damage was this shit? Hold on. Let me upload a log. Let's see. Hold on, I have to check. What percentage of my damage was even this? Upload a log. From the 6th? Sure. Yeah, if we can do some damn, that's good. Umbral Intensity getting buffed could be good. I'm not 100% sure on that. Starfire is just like such little amounts of our damage. So the fact that this got nerfed by, or buffed by, so this thing got buffed by 20%, but Starfire damage is like 10% of our damage, so it's like, or 10% of our damage, so it's like kind of nothing. Denim Nalarak, let's see. Ascendant Eclipses did... Bolts. 4%, and it got buffed by what? 10%? Okay. Meteorites was a talent that I didn't even have, although maybe I should have. I wouldn't be shocked if this trinket gets nerfed. Shooting Stars was 5% of our damage, and it got buffed by... Oh, what? 68 to 74, whatever the fuck that is. Like an extra bright today? Yeah, I turned up the fucking brightness on my camera. Finally. Could be good. I mean, it's not bad, right? A 5% aura buff. Probably 10%? I mean, unless I'm reading this wrong. Oh, you're talking about shooting stars damage. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. So probably 0.5% here, 0.5% here. Umbral Intensity. I don't even know if I was talented into this shit. I was. Starfire damage. So it's 20% to that, but uh Starfire damage is increased by 2%. So what? This is probably about like a 6 or 7% buff or something for Mythic Plus. That's not bad. I've seen worse. I was dead for a lot of this dungeon. I think I was dead for like a long time on a boss or something. Oh yeah, I was dead for a long time on the couple bosses even. It's about a six. I think probably something like a 6% buff in Mythic Plus, maybe. Maybe it's a little bit more. Maybe it's closer to 7, but that's not bad. So wait, did they? Does this say what they did to Wing Leader? Oh wait, did they buff hero talent? Did I see something? Did I miss something? They buffed Keeper the Grove. Wow. This could be good. That's a big raid buff. What the fuck? This is a really big buff in some situations. Looks like a Starfall is so much of our damage on some of these bosses in raid. I mean, this is also pretty good. What is this? Only it's really to us. Okay, so wait, did they? The AUG might be like much worse now. Evoker CDR reworked. I mean, this could be. I don't know. Mass Distinct. Augmentation Mass Eruption reduces the remaining cooldown of Breath of Eon. Oh, God. Mass Eruption hits how many targets? Mass Eruption. 5? 3? Yeah, 3. Ah. Well. That spec is much worse. Do they nerf Frost Death Knight? A 10% aura nerf? They do anything to like Affliction? No. Oh, wow. Surprising. They killed the AF tier set? Wait, what? Where? It's not in this. This shit, whenever they don't write their own fucking patch notes and I'm just reading data mine notes, is like impossible. Oh, there's tier changes below the class changes? Wait, what? Oh, there is. Holy shit. Huh. Well, they just made this a lot worse, huh? Seed of Corruption applies unstable affliction at 20% effectiveness to your target. So, hopefully Seed of Corruption is still good. Arcane Mage dodged the bullet. Interesting. This shit does no damage, so it doesn't matter. It's Moonbin season, baby. Yeah, we're back. We're back. I shook a full tick. Yeah, I mean, that shit does no damage anyways. So AF is a lot worse. They buffed Devour. Nerfed Havoc. Oh, interesting. Unless I'm reading this wrong. Yeah, nerfed Havoc. Buff the fuck out of Devour. Yeah, I mean, that spec sucks ass. Yo, what's up, Big Trout? Meowdy. Crazy how they hate us. I mean, I wouldn't be. I'm not shocked that they nerfed Affliction. I would not be surprised if they think that. I would not be shocked if they believe that like spamming seed on single targets design failure. The meta for next season. That's a good question. I don't know. I'll re-roll anyways. Nerfed BM. Ass talent tree is a design failure. I feel like the talent tree system just as a whole, I always find it quite hard to actually really understand the intricacies of the talent decisions, mostly because most specs are so cookie cutter, right? You just like fucking pull a build off of Wowhead and you import it, or you pull a build off of Warcraft logs and you import it, and you don't even think about what's going on like at all with your talents. There's no actual thought process. Like there's some thought process whenever I'm playing like Moonkin, but like any other spec I play, I never even like think about my talents. I just blanket copy. They didn't do anything to Arcane. Buff Bombkin, amen. And then a bunch of specs I don't really know too much about. Atonement buffed. Changelog, 78 changes. Ah. Might not be a deep enough game for complex talent trees. I think it's more just like... It might be the way that people play it. I don't know. Like, you never... It's one of those things that, like, I think that it's too much to where you're not actually making decisions on talents. I mean, I'm sure there's some specs that are like that, where you're actually making decisions for your talents. But more often than not, I feel like I'm literally just fucking copying something off Wowhead or whatever. I think it's one of those things that it's too complicated, but yet the decisions don't really matter. So then you just copy. If there weren't Sims, it'd be harder to tell. I mean, that's true. I think that hero talents also kind of fuck with things a little bit because, like, you need hero talents really push you into very specific builds. Like, I know Aug kind of has this. I mean, Evoker just augmentation just in general has this thing where it's like, you're heavily just pushed into specific builds. But I feel like it's hard for me to even like be able to assess what is a good talent tree versus what is a bad talent tree, because I feel like I actually interact with the talent tree so little. I just play the specialization, and then I don't feel like I actually get to engage in talent trees at all. Kind of one of those things. But yeah, maybe it's a Sims thing. Sims certainly have like a really weird dynamic as to like how players play the game, where people with Sim, like, I would describe it as like over simming is certainly a thing. Oh, this was 17 hours ago. Okay, so the patch is coming up today. I think Moonkin's just an expansion ahead. Yeah, maybe. Till tomorrow. Okay, so I wouldn't be... The servers... I would say the servers. The servers updated to have the new dungeons be available for testing in about 45 minutes from now, last week. Like it was like Wednesday at 11 a.m. PST or whatever. But, you know, the PTR is one of those things that like always fucking is down for forever. Sculpt the Stars is purely dumb. That's the CDR on Eclipse one, right? I mean, that's... Yeah, this thing's not really a talent. There's a lot of talents that are like that. I think that Blizzard kind of shoehorned themselves into a weird position because they design talent trees to have 40 points in them or whatever, or 40 nodes in them or whatever. And it's really one of those things that to be able to put 40 nodes on a tree, you actually have to make 20 of them completely passive or like non-gameplay impactful. That are in node. I think my issue with the talent trees is that they don't really feel impactful. Like, sure, you can have a better design talent tree. I do think that I maybe have like a big issue with the talents are just not... This current talent system is just not really doing it for me. Like, I literally just sit here. But it's mostly by design, I think. There's too many options, so it's like tough. I like them. I like them. I just don't really feel like I interact with them in the way that I wish I would. Like if they could actually get me to a part where I'm interacting with them in any meaningful way, that would be nice. Like I think AUG had this thing for a little while where you, depending on the dungeon, would change between Inferno's Blessing and Mighty Inferno versus like Overlord, and I thought that that was kind of interesting because it actually required some thought process. But you know, you're making decisions based on like how you're playing the dungeon. Whereas in most of my instances, I feel like I like go over to Warcraft logs, I click on raids, I click on rankings, you know, I go to my class, and I'm like, oh, these people are playing this talent build. Oh, interesting. And then it's just like you copy. It doesn't really feel like I have choice. Does it feel like talents mostly bring you up to your normal WoW spec? I don't feel like it's that to me isn't the issue. The issue is like it's supposed to be this thing of like you have choice, but I don't really feel like I ever have choice. I'm not really sure how it would even be solved. Good title? You like the title? Okay, well, server's still down for a little while. The choices on the character selection screen? Yeah. I think that, like, hero talents have some choice, right? Whenever you swap to a different hero talent, you swap to a different talent build. And making decisions as to, like, what hero talent you play, that's where the choice lies. But then you have these 40 nodes or whatever that, like, to me, it doesn't really... I wish I would engage with the nodes a bit more. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like... I think it's okay. Like, if they did nothing to the talent tree system, I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, it just kind of is what it is at this point. It's just one of those things that, like, I don't think it was. I think it was about the same as it was in Shadowlands and BFA and Legion, right? With the mop style talent trees or whatever. I think they were all about the same. I do think that the Dragonflight talent tree system did do something that was pretty good, though, and that allowed specializations a better ability to be able to talent in AoE while not losing a fuck ton of single target. But maybe that was just mostly by design, not talent trees. Yeah, I didn't interact with mob talents at all. I mean, I interacted with them in about the same way as I interact with current talents. Yo, good afternoon. All right, since we don't know when the servers are coming up today, I'm gonna fuck around and we're gonna look at old MDIs because I think that'll be fun. Like, and I'm talking about old. I'm talking about like Legion. Because I was thinking about this the other day about how crazy some of the fucking old MDIs were. This one I think is the one that I remember the most. The European Regional MDI. This one was fucking lit. Look at this. This first match, Games Revolted, the 8th seed upset Method 2-0. The storyline behind this, actually after Games Revolted ended up winning this, was that Method... So there was like a bet 365 bet line for Games Revolted to win, and I think it was like 2,000 to 1 odds or something fucking insane. It was like... I don't think it was 2,001 odds. I think it was like plus 2,000 for Games Revolted to win. And the question was, did Method intentionally fucking grief? Or did Method intentionally throw because they were betting on the line?
Maybe, rather, as soon as they kill Imran in the bottom of the ship, but right off on
This is like a storyline back in the time. Oh my god. This UI. Holy fuck, I can't see. I literally can't see. You thought you could see. You thought it was hard to see the screen now. Holy shit. The timer? Oh my god, this is goated. See, what the fuck? This broadcast for ants? I don't know. Hold on, let me move myself here. Move myself up here. Yep. And then you guys can sit right next to me. Alright, this is good. This is good.
Is that splash damage on the melee? Speaking of which, there is a ton of melee.
So, something that was kind of interesting about this season as well, and by interesting, I mean it was completely stupid. The first... So how this season worked was... the person who won map 1, the other team got to pick map 2, and whenever they picked map 2, not only did they pick the map, but they also picked the fucking affixes. So, it was this really stupid thing where a lot of games went to map 3, and the team that won map 1 very consistently won map 3 for obvious reasons, and you would just like basically FF map 2 because the team would pick like some stupid affix combo that you would never practice for, like, you know, bolstering an explosive or just ridiculous at this point in time, and you have to have like completely different routes for like teaming as well. I remember that was a really big one. That was really, really stupid. Also, I remember the entire first day, Maw of Souls was the entire map. The first map of every single series. So every single series felt like it was exactly the fucking same. I think they also did 2-day weekends. I think it was just Saturday, Sunday. So you would have like 10 or 11 hour broadcast days. Because I think you would do like round 1. I think it was like round 1, round 2, and then the first break of a limbs. And then it would be like all of these for the day 2. That was terrible.
Running over on Method.
And both sides, really. You're seeing Games Revolt there, double Windwalker.
Who's casting right now? It's Slootbag and Automatic Jack.
Demon Hunter and Monk here. So tons and tons of melee, and there is going to be, like you said, a lot of that extra splash damage that you have to watch out for. So many of these mobs can be so lethal. You are going to be having, of course, the group-wide fear coming out from Imran there, and they're both sides doing an excellent job being able to take care of all the mobs here. As you're seeing, it's going to be
that monk damage coming out of both sides, topping up the 40
Holy fuck.
over on Games Revolted. But just tons of, I mean, just the amount of melee damage coming out of these groups, and of course the single
Monk is so broken.
These rogues are benefiting from that.
The crazier thing is that Rogue is by far, Rogue was by far the top damage on this boss here.
Jack. Let's talk a bit about Imran because we don't have much time.
Rogue was ridiculous.
We do have to avoid that AoE fear.
Oh wow, Games Revolted doesn't press Bloodlust on this first pull. I didn't even realize that. What do they press it on?
Paladins and 3 melee, moving close to the boss to spawn the adds nearby, allowing the tank to pick them up nice and safely. And then of course that super dangerous overhead slash, the dark slash from the boss at the tank.
Yeah, I mean this version of Windwalker was ridiculous.
Especially when you're having all these little adds that are coming out from the boss, of course, can just be so lethal here. So like you said, it's very important to make sure you're kind of watching out for a lot of it is because they are so heavily weighted towards melee here. But also important to note, we are running with 4
this UI is the worst.
Fixes for these dungeons. Like I said, they're going to be predetermined here. Both teams, of course, getting Imran down very rapidly here. And like you said, you know, this
okay, so the fact that they haven't pressed Bloodlust and they killed the first boss earlier.
But then
oh my god, quaking! Quaking at the phone.
Just going to be all straight of focus.
This is old quaking too, dude. This shit was awful. It just did insane damage. Oh my gosh, look at this. Sky Step Potion. Where's he going?
Right after Harbron.
And Games Revolted having the quicker time here, moving downstairs to the bowels of the ship, as I like to say. So it usually starts with a larger pull here. It's pretty scary, this pull. You do have a lot of area limited by not only quaking, one of the affixes here, but by the barrels going by, the Defiant Strike, of course, the slash.
I think they're getting comp diffed really hard.
From the the Swift Blades as well, not to mention the amount of tank damage going out. So it's pretty scary with this first pull once they round out, of course, to the corner for the dogs.
It's one of the scariest things about Maw of Souls is because it is going to be that opening.
This team didn't pull the dogs here, I don't think.
Because the EU region has been
although
so
I can't
strong,
see.
it's very scary really to be watching out for, you know, any kind of accidental deaths. You're seeing, you know, both sides getting one death on each side, having to deal with so much melee damage onto melee players, so much close quarters combat going on. It can be so annoying to deal with, especially when we're having to also
where are we lusting
here. So it's a lot more stress that you're going to be putting onto the healers here.
Bursting Quaking. What a troll combo.
With wings up, making sure he's getting everybody topped off. You know, he'd of course love to be able to be right in the melee.
We're taking a break to eat. No fucking shot. They literally sat down and ate a sugar-crusted fish feast. What is going on? Fragnance is dead. No, wait. Yeah, Fragnance is dead. What the fuck? We're eating.
You know, getting, you know.
Why are we eating?
But at this point, he has to make sure he's, you know, not clogging up melee, not having any kind of extra, you know, inconvenience to any of the other people there, and is able to kind of top people off.
Okay, so actually, I think it makes a little bit more sense. I think that they were waiting on Harberon's Pat. So this guy had True Sight. And so I think they were sitting here waiting to shroud past all of this shit.
Into that rule of law.
Never mind.
And just making sure he's
they were trolling. That's good.
That actually opted to deal with the Mariner, which we usually see skipped, pulled to the side, along with that Grime Lord. It's a lot of damage.
I haven't seen this guy played.
I'm familiar with here for the viewers because everybody always skips, but people do often skip this. It's just a ton of damage, and he has just so much health. But they're going to kill him off. Games Revolted, and then it'll allow them to pull a bit less once they get upstairs after they deal with Harboron. Typically from the typical pull from Method, though, as we see on the left side of the screen.
So meanwhile, Now did a fucking death skip and got masked. Child in Time? Yeah, that's Speed's old character name.
They do pull it to the side. The tank opts to die. They res him upstairs. They pull the 2 champions. And here I do expect to see, as we're seeing now, they run upstairs to Harboron. Now, they do have a triple melee comp, so the interrupt
Speed's got to bring that shit back. Oh, wow, they skipped these champions.
As they go up to Harboron, and they should have enough interrupt left over as well for the ad that Harboron spawns.
Yep, and as you're seeing here, they're just making sure they're getting it all in together. But Method actually opting to have it.
They're saving Monk and doing damage off. Fortunately,
oh, thanks.
You need to dodge it, make sure you move to the side. Not getting hit, it does do a ton of quick as well.
I'm sorry.
Down, both sides are, you know, going to be pretty well against pulled.
The team on the right just
Gamers Revolted, of course, did not.
How in the fuck did they get? Harbor on
Heavy
pull.
composition.
Maybe
But
the
yeah,
champions just did so much. I don't know.
interrupted very
How in the
quickly.
world
And it's also kind of annoying
are
when
they
you're having to
killing the
deal with
boss
this, triple
faster?
melee comp from ads are getting spawned in areas that are just covered in void zones.
It's got to be this Windwalker monk shit.
Teams here. And Games Revolted already getting the boss down just a little bit quicker, and they're just consistently moving just a little bit faster without using Bloodlust.
Really impressive performance from
5-player
so far.
Skystep potion, goated.
Here, there goes the Bloodlust. We see it flashing on the screen now.
Oh, and by Bloodlust they mean drums, of course.
I expect to see an absolute immense
Windwalker. I mean,
amount of damage
Windwalker was
coming out of these monsters.
ridiculous.
They start to skyrocket up the meters. Now, there is a bit of a finite time for the tank to safely live in these pools that you really want to get this trash down before the tank needs to turn on a defensive note and start kiting backwards. As we can see, the mobs are about 10 to 20% on the screen right now. Immense damage coming out of the monks. Harbor on about to fall on the left side for Method, and they'll be doing this pull soon as well.
Yeah, and as you're seeing it again, it's a timer that's in your head as you're seeing Chill is just running away, getting kiting as many mobs as he possibly can. There is that timer that's in your head.
Curry died to
bursting. Healer, when you're having to deal with any of the bursting stacks, they did an excellent job just to make sure that they're going to be getting all of them in together, and also being able to handle all the bursting stacks.
Pretty on short for those.
Very end of the boss, but
especially in this
I remember this boss was dumb as hell.
Were to drop within just one phase.
You could just like,
so we'll
depending on where the tentacles spawned, it was RNG
just a moment here
for like
order for her to
where the tentacles spawned. It was like RNG. These gripping tentacles could spawn in a bunch of different locations, and you would just like lose so much damage if they spawned in the back of the boat versus the front of the boat. I mean, like this one spawning in the front of the boat is insanely good. How did this guy die?
So you do have to avoid one side of the ship, otherwise essentially you will be one shot by that.
He got melee.
Right, and as you're seeing the positioning there by the melee, they're making sure they're kind of hugging the sides of the ship there. And like
that's good.
As Games Revolted, only 70.
Oh my god, this
like you said, be able to get that.
This era of the MDI was fucking goated.
How much do time trial rankings really matter when you're watching?
Why are we watching 8-year-old MDI?
Over on Method side, it
just
really
content.
At the very get-go, the whole pull with Imran, they didn't even the 8th seed. I mean, these are all exceptional teams. It's anyone's game.
So then, Method was allowed to pick the next map.
Like I said, skip as much as possible.
And then, so apparently, Method was allowed to pick the next map, and they picked the affixes that went on the map too.
Yeah, trip to Ashizara.
Surfs Up champions entering into the Eye of Ashara here.
The esports suits era. I'm down to bring it back.
And like I said, it's going to be a fantastic instance to be able to see, what they're going to be able to skip around, what they're going to be able to kind of dodge in terms of, the specific mobs here, and what kind of opportunities do they really want to be going for.
And, I'm fully one.
No chance for this.
So Method ends up losing this,
start jumping out.
and this is where the Gingy EMP actually.
I fucking hate Tattles being happy. What a dickhead.
Thank you for the sub. This is where the Gingy EMP comes out. Because he DCs for a while during this dungeon, and then it was speculated as to whether or not Method intentionally lost to Games Revolted to cash in on a wager on Bet365.
Mobs that they have to be dealing with there. Very mobs can get, and a lot of times you kind of see.
Look at this, Gingy still just DC'd.
Long time, and one of the fighting up against something like Bolster.
Oh, dude, something that was also super stupid about this MDI was. Once you locked in a composition, you actually couldn't change your specs. You were just locked into those specs for the rest of. You were locked into these specializations for the entire map. It was so funny. Coincidentally, Gingy showed off his new Lambo next week on Twitter. Good comms.
Those kind of
DH on top of it because of the bolstering issue.
And it's wild.
Gingy's literally just disconnected for
overtake this match as they themselves are now moving
8 minutes or something.
Goose and finish up their 3%. If Method can't get.
Okay, so Games Revolted won this map, and then what was the controversial one? This series right here was controversial as fuck. I remember this. So this
stuck in Python automation hell tie for streaming.
Oh my gosh, call Claude. Yeah, thank you for the sub. This Method team was just originally named PogChamp, and they got renamed because this original Method team got knocked out. This map was insanely controversial. This series was insanely controversial because this Court of Stars
Right back home.
Method cheated. I don't think I can word it any other way. Method fucking cheated in this court.
Back home where they are.
Oh my god.
Here in the Court of Stars.
So I mean, Jack,
Look at this team. Zevi, Lofus, and Merez.
You know, you and I were
Good
backstage.
God
actually.
almighty.
Were we backstage? I was backstage. I don't know.
Method cheated, no way.
Now,
So
just-
let me see if I can find. I'll show you how they cheated. So on the second boss, this was fucking ridiculous. Let me try to set this up. So the rules of the MDI were the fucking Wild West, unsurprisingly. But there was a rule that was like, if you reset a boss, it's against the rules. It was like something ridiculous. Like you're not allowed to reset. I think it was literally like, no, it wasn't like you're not allowed to reset a boss. I think it was something really weird about resetting bosses.
there is that.
But it was to the point where teams figured out in Court of Stars that if you reset the second boss, the mini bosses would just stay. But you could do a very specific way of like resetting the boss to where some of the mini you would like be in combat with some of the mini bosses, and basically it was this whole entire thing where you didn't have to kill the guard captain,
damage up.
which okay,
From
fine.
that
But
In
it wasn't allowed.
It's either, you
Is
know,
kind of the
impact-
TLDR, right? Teams asked about it and were told that they weren't allowed to do it. But Method never asked and just fucking did it on the broadcast. And then at the time, everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Okay, this is what they're doing right here. So they're resetting the boss.
Now doing
That way they
the
don't have to
we
kill the
saw
guard captain,
in
and then they can just fight this mini boss without killing the captain. But Fat Shark, yes, asked if they were allowed to do this, and were told no. Then Method just does it on the broadcast, and well, it was much faster, so they ended up winning this map while doing a strategy that was told to Fat Shark, yes, and other teams it wasn't allowed. Then everybody's like, yo, what the fuck? Why were you even allowed to do that? And Blizzard is like, well, we don't know what to do. We actually think that they should be allowed to do this. This was a cool strategy. And, well, what did they do? Instead of disqualifying Method, I think they replayed the fucking map or something. For some reason, I think they replayed the map, but I don't know when. Did they replay it at the beginning of the next day or something stupid? I can't remember. I just remember this was insanely controversial. Yeah, like they literally just didn't ask and they go, oops, we didn't know that we weren't allowed to do this, and people were pissed. People would all the competitors, the NA competitors, the EU competitors, everybody wanted them disqualified for it. The chat's spamming remake. Why the fuck are they spamming remake? I mean, they cheated, but that was funny shit.
the remaining hints that they need. Now, you do need to get all 5 hints on to have. He does crash that.
Yeah, it is also interesting to note, though, that...
What bin was that?
So they needed to...
Mechanical boss, so it will take a while. This is one of those scarier bosses, or at least has been, or used to be for a while, in for those maelstroms you do if you're too close to one.
Off the Dispel, to get that extra haste buff makes things a lot easier to get a lot more healing out, but you're going to be having, again, his wind attack here that's going to be coming in.
Oh, no, this is actual fucking bin. Good times with the death for 5 seconds.
Lines that you really have.
Yeah, there was spy RNG. I remember like whether or not you got a top spy or a bottom spy was like minus 25 seconds or something ridiculous. Yeah, it was 5 seconds.
Here for Team Method.
Yeah, I mean, Metro deaths on the board. You know, clearing tornadoes sure that they need to.
Really, that's one of the things is if they're when they are that confident, when they are comfortable at that level there, all the way around.
Just confirm.
Main thing to look at is both eliminated from the tournament. Method will move on, and yeah, I think they have been talking.
They
and,
cheated. I don't even understand how they fucking cheated. And got away with this. I thought they remade this game. Oh, I found it. They did redo the game. This was the redo. This was the original.
On top as well as they.
This was the original run, and then Blizzard. So Fat Shark, yes. Holy fuck! This is what happened. Yeah. So they redid the map, and then they allowed this is so troll that they did this. So not only did they redo the map, but then they amended the rules and said that the strategy that Method did was allowed. So then that calls into question, why the fuck are you remaking the map if the strategy is allowed? Why did they tell people the strat wasn't allowed? And then also, you didn't practice with this strat. What is the strat? Here, I'll show you. Basically, you could reset the second boss, and the boss would reset, but the mini boss would stay. And So you could reset. Look at what they're doing here. Yeah. They're resetting the boss, but the mini boss is going to stay. And teams asked about this. My team asked about it. I know multiple European teams asked about it. Allegedly, the Fat Shark Yes team asked about it. And we're all told, no, you're not allowed to do this. Method, notably, did not fucking ask and just did it. and then they remade the entire. They didn't remake the series, but they redid the map at the very end of the day. What did the fucking announcers even say about this?
Few mistakes there, as we actually saw in the very end. They came out to those 4 deaths completely being the deal breaker. Then not only is
For this final game,
I want to hear what the announcers
reiterate.
Holy shit. This is an era of the MDI.
One more map to close out the day. It is going to be a replay Method versus Fat Shark. Yes, we're going straight to Court of Stars. I just want to reiterate, because I actually made a mistake, getting really excited seeing this scenario go down. It's not one that goes down often in my memory. It failed me in my old age. This is going to be the 3rd map, not the 2nd map, so we're replaying. This is for all the marbles. The winner of this will go on in that loser's bracket. The loser is going to be...
Did they ever explain why?
Kind of minimal move. Will be getting the kill likely in time.
Oh my gosh. Lepan, Asmonbold, Atticu, Jed. What's this guy's name? Jed. He's a hunter. And then Swag. Jesus. Jed Slims. That's right.
Strategy of the last boss
that I think we have had. Congratulations to both of these teams. Team Sabotage ultimately is going to be going home, but they looked so strong on the way out, and so many of these fights have been down to the wire. They've been down to death count.
Jed Slims.
Got a little bit more in store for you. I know that I said that this was going to be the last series of the day. It was the last one that's planned, but we got a little bit of a bonus round, and it happened for a little bit of a weird reason, so I'm going to break it down for you right now. We're actually going to be going to a rematch.
What do they say about this?
Versus Fat Shark, yes, and the reason for that, we talked quite a bit about it while we were casting. The main thing that happened, there was a very interesting pull that Method went about. They were totally allowed to do that pull. It was when they actually went and they
totally allowed to do that pull.
Pulled the boss a little bit prematurely to get that ad out in time. They dealt with it there. They dealt with the trash. This is a pull, though, that Fat Shark, yes, also knew about. They wanted to do it, and there's no fault on Method. It totally was kosher, but there was a miscommunication between Fat Shark, yes, and someone from the admin team on the Blizzard side. There was a miscommunication. They believed that they weren't allowed to do the pull. Blizzard basically told them that they weren't allowed to do it. They are. So for the integrity of the tournament, we are going to replay that map.
Not only was Fat Shark told that they weren't allowed to do it, every fucking team was, except for Method, who didn't ask. Anyway, yeah, that happened. That was crazy shit. And then Method got upset by Shell's Angels. This was goated. Dude, this is back in the era of the MDI where you'd see 10 death fiestas. I miss this. I miss this era. If you don't ask, you can't be told no. Yeah, I think that was their thought process as well. This was also, I'm pretty sure, the APAC season that they played a bunch of the games off broadcast because, what was it? Hellistra completely went down for the entire weekend, leaving like almost all of Australia without internet. So I think they played like 3 fucking maps this weekend and then played all of them just like randomly throughout the rest of the week. And then there was also a banger. Where is this one? Lower Karazhan. Oh, I fucking love remakes. Remakes are so good. Well, there was a
versus Limit.
There was a Chinese remake too that was egregious. That I'll show you guys in a second. But this was some fucking bullshit. Let me just tell you. What was your team? Sinking ship. Don't worry about them. They were. Don't worry about it.
Bubbles that bubble phase because Limit against them. Limit, but they were able to giddy up, grab themselves quite a few seconds, and now you can see.
Where does method in a wipe?
Say that they've rehearsed it the most, getting.
And then, like, who knows at this point, right there, screen there.
Cheeky with this composition that they can pull off on Morose. I know.
Comp. This is a comp.
Yeah. Is
Walker back to life.
Repentant.
Dungeon.
Yeah, getting that Grievous.
Okay, so this is what the remake was for. So whenever mobs channel in World of Warcraft, sometimes they'll still melee you. This still happens because of how the game is coded. And Maiden of Virtue was notoriously bad about this shit. No, this was before Bone Dust. I mean, this is 2 expansions before Bone Dust.
Maiden's gonna put on a shield.
So
they need to break that shield really quick.
this, what happens is JB gets meleeed by Maiden of Virtue, and this causes for a reset.
That's right. So this big repentance is going to.
And you might notice that Method in A is actually pretty far fucking behind Limit. I mean, Limit already have the second boss killed. They're running to the third boss. Limit is obviously they're on a different boss, but I think Limit is something like 30 or 45 seconds ahead. But not only that, but Method in A essentially just loses the moment that JB dies here. There's no battle res for him.
Taking damage in order to break it. JB has died, and of course they did use that battle res just on the last wipe.
It's like what sometimes some
shield.
Oh, the Grievous is gonna
to finish Europe.
What did the casters say about this remake?
Of Ian Mangle's team is going to be Fire Mage is doing more
the moment, and that one things like
Wiping on Shadow Zul? I can look.
Really incredible out of it.
So the thing is that
Q4 method on the threat. Nobody's on any damage to rip it off. They've got all these mobs stacked up. You know, he's there's 30 seconds fairly in these two teams, and they just need looks like one single trash mob to clean the thing.
Yeah, unfortunately there, while this match was looking like it was fairly close to being determined, there was an issue for method on Maiden of Virtue. Unfortunately with the players, we're going to have a chance to look at them in the replay, but we are going to have to remake this one. So
the EU remake in the lower finals?
Obviously hate to see that. That's something that we have experienced that is not super popular, but it is a matter of making sure that the players have that opportunity to, play in a setting that honors the spirit of a competitive tournament like this.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but also...
This is troll. Was that the Darkheart Thicket one? Where Divine fucking steps on a branch and snaps all the mobs, and then this is like the most mundane thing I've ever seen get a remake for. Yeah, okay, so this is what happened. I remember this. This was the biggest bullshit. This is the reason that we're not allowed to have remakes anymore, by the way. Some fuck ass. I'm trying to. I think it was like the first pull of the goddamn dungeon, second pull of the dungeon or something. Divine steps on a branch.
One of the things about Rogue, now keep in mind they're going to have to play this Rogue throughout the endings, which is going to be big in every dungeon. Well, that's exactly what we were saying on the side of Shell's Angels, but Rogues are particularly strong here.
I believe
You have 5 seconds strong. Keep in mind they're going to have to.
How do you even get a remake for this?
Play this Rogue throughout the entire series, not just this dungeon.
So this bear snaps.
Locked it in. They could maybe go Asa if they really felt the need to, but the thing is Rogue is strong here. It's going to allow you to skip things, which is going to be big.
Is he not taking damage? No, he's taking damage. Now he snaps out. Barudra dies.
Walker on the side of Shell's Angels. That's 5 seconds. Here comes
Sierra dies.
War method as well, and there we go. Starts to snowball. That's exactly what we were saying on the side of Shell's Angels. But Rogues are particularly strong here.
I remember the speculation at the time, although quite unlikely, was that Shell's first pull went so bad that Divine intentionally snapped these mobs up here to get a remake on the first pull of the dungeon. Now, thinking about this in retrospect, probably unlikely to be true. But I do remember it was certainly a thing. How long does this... How long does this shit go on before the remake happens?
When the boss don't have a problem.
Anything like that.
The map just goes on for 5
There's
minutes.
different strats developed on these kind of trash packs here. As there's those keepers that are
Positioning is going to be actually cause them to. I am getting the word right now. I thought that full screen was a little bit early. It looks like Shell's Angels maybe did encounter a bug of some sorts, and that might be what actually caused them to go down. So
that would have definitely been, I think, in the history of MDI, the quickest full screen, you know, in the bad manners capacity I think we've ever seen. So certainly a little bit premature, but Rich, you have the right of it. Shell's Angels unfortunately did encounter a bug. We are going to
People were pissed.
That wasn't really too far in, so go ahead and just make sure both the teams are on even footing. Again, competitive integrity absolutely key in these matches. So we're going to get that
competitive integrity.
Reflection of how.
I remember that. God, that was good. There was the Americas weekend happened. There might have been a bug. What is this?
Goes down for.
Oh my God! I'm just dude. This was. I don't feel bad
for them.
I would do this again.
Now they just have 3 DPS players or 3 members alive, and the Warlock is gonna die kind of soon. And one problem with this boss tunnels is it does shield itself. So if you start losing damage, it's very hard to limp over the finish line.
Okay, so they're not going to get sent down by the Dark Exile anymore because they're over
this
the 15%
could be a big
mark.
opportunity for Soulburn Circle, but it's not going to work out.
Are they wiping?
Down goes their Warlock. DK, this was the combo that finished the first boss. The DK doesn't have Last Resort anymore. Oh, he gets spiked. 2% of the boss. Can Unholy DK survive this? No.
Dude, look at this. 16 versus 18 deaths, and they wipe to the fucking the very end. And
Tunnels, no. No, what are we witnessing?
Travis and I are just laughing.
Oh, the 1% wipe. On now for the Rhyme Finder. Oh, goodness gracious.
Travis and I literally are just laughing.
I just watched. This could have horribly gone worse.
Oh, shit. That's good.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I love Fiestas. Does that say an 11? That does say an 11, yes. No, you might ask, is an 11 a high key? No, it is not a high key. Oh, fuck, that was good shit. Team depleted Spires of Ascension? I'm gonna look for the Chinese King's Rest where a team's double depleted KR. And a team gets spawn camped by fucking Shadow Azul. That was good. What else was I looking for from this? I don't remember anything else was like that notable. There was the 70 death Seed of the Triumvirate. 73. Look at this. Zul. Oh my god, he's coming back. This is an iconic run. Sense dies, NATO dies, they lose their bloodlust, and then they stand around. Wait, I thought that they died all these times to the first fucking pull of the dungeon. Wait, they died to the first boss? The first boss farmed them for 70 deaths? That's good shit. That's good shit, actually. Oh, fuck, I miss Clown Fiestas. Dude, they're full... Yo, I'm trying to watch the content! Literally, all you see from stupid mistakes is the deaths going up. You literally don't even see what they're doing. You just see the deaths accumulating. What the fuck is this shit? An iconic dungeon run. Dude, there was another really good one. What was it? It was, I think it was 2017. There was like a... Do you remember all this? I don't know. I could have learned math or something, but instead my autism hyperfixated on World of Warcraft. Finals and finals. America's region view bracket. Maybe it was the finals. It must have been the finals. This is where it must have been. A team spelled out like Hippo 43 Death Arcway or something in the fucking finals. With feasts. Oh my, was that triple druid? What the fuck am I looking at? Warler. Oh my goodness. This team spelled out like something about Hippo 43 Death Arcway with feasts, I think. Whenever they realized that they were losing. But I'm pretty sure the broadcast like cut away from it because they thought they were drawing a penis or something. I remember that happening. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, look at this. Now they're drawing with the feasts. I don't remember if they actually show what the end of the drawing was. Fuck. There was a screenshot of it somewhere. Maybe they don't show it. Fuck, dude. That was heat. I don't think they show it. They were quick to fucking full screen teams back then. Yeah, what season was this? This would have been summer 2019. Top brackets, East Cup 1. I have no idea. I don't remember what weekend this is going to be, frankly. King's Rest? Nope, not that one. There was a team that double depleted Siege of Borealis. That was fucking fire, too. It probably wasn't the first weekend. Did I say 24 deaths? Oh my god. East Cup 2. It would have probably been like East Cup 3. Dude, the Chinese... This is the reason that the East Cup got removed, is because teams just stopped showing up. And we'd have fucking forfeits every single weekend. It was so troll. That was bad. Oh my god, does that say 17 deaths? This is the good old days for sure. Alright, East Cup 3. It might have been East Cup 3. For some reason, it's just showing me Cup 2. Hold on. Raider IO from this era will just fucking lie to you frequently. Oh no. Maybe I won't be able to find it. Fuck. Oh no. Alright, let's go back through the Warcraft fucking archives. Videos. That Makes? What the fuck? Makes is streaming on the Warcraft channel? Uploads, maybe? Nope, definitely not uploads. Highlights? Method NA versus Abracadabra. What were they doing? This is a Dr. J team. Yep. Divine, Zamaka, Shine, Dr. J, and Swag. Oh my god, the era of the double rogue. Jeb.
Pretty much melt smash spot here.
It is arcane time again.
Mage had good DPS. Oh, yeah. Dude, they carried around the fucking mob the entire dungeon. This was so stupid.
Smash Spite's health is going down really, really fast, down to 65%.
This was ridiculous.
55%. I mean, it's just completely melting him. As long as everyone stays alive now, it is a tyrannical setting, so that AoE stomp from Smash Spite, we've actually seen on a few.
Muscle bra? Dude, do not shit talk muscle brug. That guy's the GOAT. That guy walked so we could run. Oh, I meant to pull up the China regional weekend where they intentionally reset Smash Bite or whatever. I don't remember when this was. There was a team that intentionally reset fucking Smash Bite.
Right off the bat, I think
it was so troll. Why is no one playing with Muscle Bra anymore? I have no idea. Was that a healing stat? Oh my god, it's healing stat. I guess my boss. Holy fuck, he's so handsome.
We can do that because especially in the case of no healer, we did a 22. Now we're doing a 23. If they win this, they'll do a 24. So it's going to get very.
Was this the one that they reset the boss?
They were to have that buff, but they don't yet. So we're.
I gotta find when they reset the boss. This was so just disgustingly stupid. Mostly because they did it intentionally. And it was like a really well-known, like if you charge
those all-in kills because of the bursting, but guys,
if you charge Smash Bite too close to the wall, you reset.
To the stairs.
But a team intentionally reset the boss. It was like ridiculous. Holy fuck, 24 deaths.
Can make things,
this is back in the good era where a team played without a healer. That was sick.
Can't just go for those all-in kills because of the burst.
So sick. I don't remember where this Electric Hold was. I remember a team just like literally intentionally reset the boss.
Upset the #1 seed from China, Skyline D, who have just been looking so good. Can they do it on their map choice? Take it away, casters.
Well, here we are again. I'm expecting, of course. I don't even know why we bother saying.
Where else would it have even been? See it. Because it wasn't this one. It wasn't this one, was it?
Skyline D, who have just been looking so good. Can they do?
No. I don't know. Fuck.
Maybe Blackrook old before we get out of this one.
Right.
Oh, here it is! I found it! Look at this shit. They reset fucking Smash Bite intentionally. This is like ridiculous that this was even allowed to happen. So this team right here, they're literally sitting there, and if you charge Smash Bite too close to the wall, he would reset. Look at how far fucking behind they are. They are quite literally 2 minutes behind or something? Something ridiculous. And they know that they're fucking behind, and they know that they're gonna lose, and so what do? They reset the fucking boss. Oh no, they reset the boss earlier. Let me see. Maybe they accidentally reset the boss. I thought they did it on purpose. I don't know why I thought they did it on purpose. It wasn't intentional. Oh yeah, it was intentional. Look at this shit. They fucking have a death on their rogue. And so they intentionally reset the boss because the rogue is dead. And then they go, can we get a remake? The boss accidentally reset. This is ridiculous. Maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe he's actually trying to soak it, and the boss dashed him. Regardless, this got a remake for them. That reset of the boss right there got a remake for them. That was unfucking believable. Reset boss remake. Cool game, Blizzard.
Like the Warlock's doing a substantial amount of damage. Warlock could very easily not even be running execute here.
It was certainly a question of why the fuck is he standing there?
Despawn somehow, so that is going to be a huge problem for Skyline D. We'll have to keep an eye on our answers as well. We have to watch the new.
They're able to
a huge problem for Skyline D.
It wasn't exactly sure.
One, so a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, honestly, resetting their Smash Spider is a little bit unfair. We could do some little shenanigans where we reduce the time, but I think the administrators have called in for a replay with that one, so a little bit unfair.
That was unfortunate. In-person cast for the MDI, yeah.
Maybe Blackrock old before.
What was this under? MDI 2018 China Regionals Top 8. What was that under? I just like scroll back. Oh, does nothing actually get removed from the Warcraft channel? Holy shit, this channel is fucking sick. Alright, we're scrolling. I gotta find the China Regional. What am I looking for? Cup C? Week 3 or something? Spring... Okay, what was the other one called? Let me look. MDI East Spring Cup number 2. So I'm looking for MDI East Spring Cup number 3. MDI East Spring Cup number 3. Top 8, top 6. Let's click on these. Holy fuck. This is the era when this shit was in person. Oh my god, they had a bye. Amen. This shit sucked ass, by the way. So this was the era where every week... So there was 3 West Cup weekends and 3 East Cup weekends, and you alternated, right? So weeks 1, 3, and 5 would be West Cup. Weeks 2, 4, and 6 would be East Cup. And let me say, as a caster, the East Cup started at 10 p.m. local time, and the East Cup started at like 11 a.m. local time or something like that. So we were literally, my full-time job was flipping my sleep schedule. That shit was the worst.
The encounter where he will run around, open all the cages, and the players will join him on the other side.
I'm trying to see if I can find
Definitely, I'm pretty sure we'll be
the team that just ran it the fuck down, and the 2 teams that ran it the fuck down in KR. Oh my gosh, it's me. Sounds so young. Mute myself. Yeah, it's me. AR. Okay, normal run. I want to see a team get corpse camped. Like, high key, I want to watch them get fucking corpse camped. That shit's hilarious. Okay, it was not in the top 8. It was maybe in the top 6. Alright, let's look. I'm looking. Black Mamba versus Big Money Crab. Who was on this team? Nilesy. I think this is the only person I know that was on this team. Need some more King's Rests. What weekend was that? There was a team that fucking ran it down in KR. This shit is hilarious. What the fuck? 20 deaths. Dude, we gotta bring this era of the MDI back. Teams are too good now. I want to see teams have absolute fucking shootouts. Grind of the Storm. What a dungeon. I was going John Madden this season. Maybe it was the other weekend. Let's see. Maybe it was... Let's see. MDI spring season? What was I looking at? Oh, I was looking at spring. Maybe I wanted to look at summer. Fuck. I'm looking around. I had buzz on your mic? No, I didn't know that. I'll have to look later. After stream. Alternatively, I could unplug it and replug it right now, but I don't know if that's gonna solve anything. Oh my god, I found it. 24 versus 24 deaths. Holy shit, we found it.
That they'll end up outpacing Battle for Champion and King's Rest, but if Battle for Champion does make some...
Gets so much damage. We rich it.
Oh my god, they had fucking 16 deaths on the first pull. Oh shit, this is good. What the fuck? You got knocked to the roof. Oh my god, they're getting farmed by this pull. Oh my god, they spawn at the beginning of the dungeon. Oh my goodness. There's a team, I remember they like Lightfoot potion and just jump off the fucking edge. But I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember when that happened. I thought this was in this run. Jesus Christ, they're both just chain running it down.
With here.
What does Sleep say?
Making sure that that rogue stays high health and worrying about quaking is actually important here, because quaking, if it ends up locking Jack out, it could make that rogue go down. Well, they do have 2 battle reses still, even though they've thrown the match a couple times. They would be okay if that rogue did in fact actually go down.
It's hard to battle res a tank that's 400 yards away off the edge of the bridge. Basket hand goes the same.
Wait, where did that happen?
For champion,
as it is like one of the only ways that they can.
Young me.
Jack as he stealths and runs around the.
Well, we do see Jack on.
I feel like this kill is taking them. The warrior dips down to 9%. He decides to get right back down, and you can see just how dangerous that bleed is. So,
they end up doing.
How did he jumped off?
Players doing well to meet for after Shadow of Zor. Death available, so the heal gets
their mass res off and look.
Pay attention to what's going on.
I don't know.
And the who finish them off, but they managed to hang on right now. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to actually stabilize and finish this off. Along though, titles that they're trying to do this group is spent killing explosives that are just constantly popping up all over this place. This is an absolute nightmare for them. Battle for Champion finally cruising along though, 35% on Akali.
Dude, what are we watching?
This council fight.
Yeah, and Akali ends up doing a barrel through the side of a company. It looks like because otherwise they would already be dead. And we actually do see people
leads going up, having to DPS. The mobs don't die at all. Get a couple of pulses of healing as well available, and eventually they just run out. The revitalize up on the other side of the bridge, and they
Jesus.
Weak and non-fortified weak. Well, he's going to end up running it out.
Talking about this death differential,
saving Bloodlust for
skip past that.
Oh my god.
That's all I believe it is.
This wasn't even the one that they fucking jumped off the ledge and got corpse camped. Good God Almighty. What KR was that? How is there a 0 death 31-minute run? What? What? That can't be right.
That first pull, but massive.
Is that really the timer?
Team does rush down for the next.
Oh my god, it actually was just 31 minutes. What the fuck? East Cup 2. Dude, this shit is crazy. I haven't thought about all this stuff in so long. This is content. Spring. East Cup Summer. This shit was so catastrophically fucking troll. There was a double deplete in a Siege of Borealis one time, too. I remember that. Ridiculous. No, it's apparently my mic is buzzing. Maybe that'll fix it, but probably won't. Woked. Does that fix it? What was I looking for? Still no? Alright, whatever. I'll have to look at it later. Some people, yeah, if you're wearing like microphones, electrical grounding? Oh. 1 moment. I could guess maybe. Maybe that'll fix it. Hello? If that's not fixing it, then I'll have to look at it later. Oh, you got feedback still? Alright, lovely.
It is Tala or Tali. The Raptor comes out, the mounted Raptor, so that you...
Oh, this is it. I found it. Timer? No.
We're all set and ready to go for game number 2 between Black Mamba Cup, and they ended up wiping to it.
This is some fucking shit. This is genuinely the craziest fucking run of all time.
The gold pool on the floor after a couple of seconds. That's
Oh, true.
So, good at the rogues is explosive killing. That's still a long way to go.
The Shadow of Zul would be interesting to see. That'd be the first time I think we've... Well, no, it'd be the... We've seen that before. We've seen actually after...
cooldowns to this pull.
Should be able
Said none of them are dwarves.
shrouds to get through that bridge.
Yeah, we definitely see that. That's deal spawn.
For Manchimba, if you don't kill that and you try to take, this has nothing to do with the third boss, so not a big deal. He can stealth right by those berserkers. Okay, when they crit.
There was some crazy shit where a tank jumped off, like Lightfoot jumped off the ledge.
Yeah, well, he would have to go by the 2 berserkers. Yeah, they have to be.
Oh my god, this team in the bottom right is fucking running it down.
Kind of a questionable play I feel like to pull this back.
Maybe they were intending on pulling the Guardian, and something didn't work out the way they wanted to.
And now he's walking away holding his head with his
Oh
hand,
my
so
god.
Keep an eye on what he plans on doing with MDT after this. I'm actually
30 deaths, 34.
I want an explanation for the 3 Guardian routes. So Black Mamba actually finishing off their trash count. They're moving on to Shadow of Zul here, and this is the play. And then the last.
For Wong, so on them.
Oh no, this isn't the one where they got corpse camped. There's a different one? Holy fuck. Where is it? 100. MDI East Summer Cup 3. Let's go look. That says west. Definitely looking for east.
As long as things around him are getting mass AoE. So Supreme doing a good turner for a pretty substantial. And then we'll just succeed and, you know, let's bring a Guardian Druid and all this kind of stuff. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, these teams have limited practice time. They're told limited amount of days before the time trial, before the cups happen.
Okay, with the Molten Slack here, some other full team wipe.
See, I'm not, you know, there's not a mass pull coming in. He's not reaching high necrotic stack, so
Able to go to the booth and to get the distract. So we see the first pull here.
Usually 66%. Even when things go wrong, you just have to
This boss as efficiently as possible. You just kind of cleave it off.
So if he used it there, he wouldn't have it available. And on the side of the Dazar here, I believe he reaches 60%. Therefore, he has Raban up because most teams, of course, don't focus Raban. You just kind of cleave him passively on the side. And then Tsala, I believe it was the second Raptor's name, when she comes down to it, there's going to be triple.
Oh my god, the tank dies to Quaking! Jesus!
On Ching, so those necrotic stacks are going to be building up quite quick. Another death
Holy
here,
fuck!
On the side of just not.
Their blood not too deep. I believe he.
Or are they just not going to be up to snuff against the Western team?
Just pull everything on top. Now, it makes it a little bit difficult to kite the mobs just because everyone wants to stand inside the rune, but then you don't want the mobs to stand inside it because they also get the damage reduction. So definitely something that you want to keep in mind. And you know what? Actually, I have a question about Aquaseer just because you're the one who designed this beautiful boss. What if the Sanguine does heal it all the way up and then does it split into 3 again? Is there going to be a second intermission?
My god, 6 Aqualics. I don't know. That sounds like...
Oh, that was the bit, is that Sloot designed Aquaseer. I forgot about that. Like, what the fuck is she talking about?
onto that one. They're the king of ruins. The ability to dodge it.
Lockwood, and then just, you know, again.
Mash corpse running the...
Best hospitals on the... That'll be my title tomorrow.
Too far. He didn't get too far this time.
Old and scuffed. What the fuck is that team?
Who's out of range.
But how? Last second, I think he kind of mismanaged. Old and Scuffed trying their hand at Fate with Shadow of Zul. They don't have...
Oh, this is it! I found it! We found the fucking run! Jesus.
Stance.
So this is a chance.
The corpse camp Shadow of Zul run.
On the boss would be low enough for that kind of strategy at the beginning of the day.
They wanted to go for some sort of death record. I mean,
oh god, the double berserk. After it was applied the first, he is dead. He got one of the bleeds. There are 4.
Skip it and deal with the much easier 3-pack Enchanted Emissary as well. Committed a lot.
The battle res wreaking havoc with the berserker.
But I feel we got a amount of damage. He's at 1% HP there.
He's going to die. I guarantee it. He has no defensives left except for the shield wall that he just popped right now. Ironbark's still on cooldown. He doesn't, but this is looking really corpse run this because they didn't clear the 5-pack. The same thing Old and Scuffed is doing right now as well. LS goes down. DB proc cheat death. Iron All goes down. They're not going to be able to kill this. Have the and wiped.
They
try again and
the bullet good guns everything
stands, which means that he's also all defensives available. They have 3 battle red at Fate.
Dude, wait, the thing just fucking dies.
As I've mentioned several times, does melee oftentimes between his casts, which means that he's also cheekily stacking up some necrotic stacks on you here and there, which adds just insult to injury right now. Iron All just yo-yoing and bouncing up and down. He goes down, no battle res is available. Here's another full team wipe. Old and Scuff trying their hand at Fate with Shadow of Zul. They don't have
here, or he has to run to heal the tank. Pretty clean. You have.
Bot is gonna kill him. Ben goes down too, and this is gonna be
out of the debug. Out of it. I mean,
this team's also wiping.
People are just dropping. This is so much damage.
It's so
this
much
is
damage.
good.
He's gonna go down here. The last dot is gonna kill him. Ben goes down too, and this is gonna be a full team wipe here for Old and Scuffed right now. As King of Ruins taking a moment to watch what their opponents are doing on the other side of the screen right now, seeing if they can get through it before they have their third go at it too. And both teams are trapped in this area right now. Mash is pull right either, but Ruins is on the board for King of
This
Ruins.
is good shit.
I don't.
Oh my god.
To think of this. I mean,
they're running it back to the fucking.
He is just taking names and writing checks right now. 25 deaths for kill going every time, and that's exactly what they're doing.
This is good.
At this, people can just shit even, man.
What makes this thing ever been invoked before? It's called the Mercy Rule. Has it been invoked before?
No, actually, it's included. Yes, it's done.
It's just cut. The dungeon's
That's
over,
right.
and we
fest 2 years ago.
Right. So typically,
in rare circumstances, we might have to do it right now. And I mean, I have the red buzzer next to me. And down on both in a row.
But
now, as a King of Runes is might have pretty to them. Offensive wise, they're gonna have to wait
to say because the first one pull it off.
Somebody gets Shadow of Zul back on their fucking spawn. I don't remember. I don't know how.
Mitigate that side. He uses save the tank, and that did Shadow of Zul to try and take a hit, which of course was not enough. And that's going to be all she wrote for the team here as Greeno gets feared as insult to injury by the ad at the very end.
Shit.
And that is death number 34 here for King of Ruins. And what's Zara from me? Right now they have a think they fight.
Dude, what the fuck
well.
am I watching?
41 deaths. They're actually corpse running the pack at the.
Oh, they're corpse running the pack. It wasn't Shadow of Zul. It was the trash pack.
I believe they have about.
I mean, hammers aren't a 57% trash. Down, shield 15%.
Oh, no. Look at this. Now they're corpse running Zul. They're bringing Zul back to the spawn.
Zul might finally be killed here. Panch goes down. Banix goes down as well by the end of it. But they have overcome the greatest evil known to the Eastern teams here in the form of Shadows.
I'm going to have about 13 Desire 3.
Wait, they don't have count.
They're 50 break for them. We are now sitting at the start of the fight, which is at 60% where he mounts
51 deaths? What the fuck is this shit?
Extra damage to deal with.
And it is of course important to mention, we mention this every time we run King's Rest just to make sure everyone at home knows. On the tournament realm, the Shadow of Zul does not, for some reason, give the percentage that it's supposed to, but we do award the teams the 4% that it does give them. So
I forgot about that, actually.
Sailing after that has just been starved for weeks. Goes down again. He had consumed the battle res push.
This is good shit.
We could see.
Who was analyst for this? Was it me? What do I even say?
To pull it out and take a series 2-1.
They took
Dude, what the fuck?
Somehow, some way, hydrated, ready to go, stretch their legs. 92 deaths total throughout this King's Rest run in a dungeon that will, let's talk down in infamy. And we'll also be getting you those timers as soon as we possibly can, as we're getting our official count time. I apologize that they got borked halfway through. But Tettles, let's talk about this dungeon.
No, let's not.
Where did it go wrong?
Where did it go right?
It went wrong in many places and for many reasons. I think we were joking a little bit about the Shadow of Zul.
Well, okay, so at the start of this, I remember you mentioned, you're like, oh yeah, Shadow of Zul's killed tanks, even like high caliber team tanks, everything like that, very unforgiving, all that stuff, right? I remember seeing somebody in chat that like, oh, Shadow of Zul's not that bad, and I was like, just wait.
Yeah, okay, so like level 18 Shadow of Zul with Quaking plus Necrotic is very, very dangerous. And I was joking in the back, Salute, what exactly is that talent that's on the row with Bolster that you can take instead that will actually give you more shield from your shield? I was want to understand. So yeah,
wanting more pain.
Down it right here as it Zul was not giving
dude, this shit is
proper trash percentage on this, so they did kill Shadow of Zul and get the extra 3 or 4%. You can watch him go down it right here as they're
was able to take the match off, being able to kill Shadow of Zul just a little bit before.
I would have been way meaner. I would have been way more mean. I would have fucking laid into them.
Hey, there we go. 54 minutes.
Look. He didn't have a tie on. I had a tie on.
5 seconds.
55 fucking minutes. What the fuck is that?
It was 39 deaths to 52 or 53. I've aged to speech as well, Tails.
No, Black Mamba's way better. Man,
yes.
At least it's going to be rough because Black Mamba is not the team that we always want.
Ah, damn.
I know initially going into this, I had some questions as to
Peter is left.
This is a good era. What am I watching right now? We were watching old MDIs.
They've dealt with this boss very quickly. They have their lust on available still.
Yeah, we're watching a shit show. Yeah.
The more dangerous bosses in the dungeon. I mean, you know.
Are they gonna bring the servers back up?
They have room to come back. I mean, the biggest.
What's the tomato doing?
Those 13 deaths on the board. That's an extra minute worth of time that they are behind King of Ruins, and King of Ruins is just further in the dungeon in terms of progression. So at this point, King of Ruins is gonna have to make some mistakes, and so far they've been almost flawless in this dungeon. They just had that one tiny mistake earlier.
Yeah. So to be honest, we were saying that.
I miss Nagura. What was another really good one? Whenever Method NA beat Method EU. That was fucking hype.
Unfold in the first game of our grand
This season was absolutely insane.
EU and Method NA. Here we go.
I'm pretty sure Method EU didn't like lose a map this entire season or something. Fucking ridiculous. It was something like literally ridiculous. West. Method literally winning straight through. Method winning. Okay, Method has lost 2 maps.
Most of the alliance teams start very similar, where you have a huge
Method lost like 0 maps this entire season.
was this one team who got 50% of the
Yeah, they just threw every single time. This was crazy.
Well, Method and A is playing Horde, and we just see the Shroud coming out of them, just skipping a bunch of.
Oh my god, Horde versus Alliance Borealis.
The exact opposite.
The exact opposite. We do know one of the key strategies of Method and A in this dungeon with an excellent time as well has been the double spotter play. So they have a lot of backloaded.
How does Method EU lose? I remember the Shrine of the Storm. But
so maybe the same thing is going to happen again, and they
I really remember.
Just, warm themselves up and just.
Why do you miss Nagura? Did something happen to her?
Tournament in the word practicing, but right now,
she
yeah, they are certainly ahead right now.
Moved to Germany.
The most dangerous trash in the dungeon comes
a fate worse than death
in a Dark Fathoms area with those double commanders and all of the the spotter play, of course, the snipers, a lot of.
Well, Method A still has a super clean run and 0 deaths on their board.
Everything is rooted in the corner for Method U right now. They don't want to get too many of those necrotic stacks. Gingy taking a huge chunk of damage and now getting low as well. Zalia certainly has is a work cut out for him right now as everybody starts to stabilize, but they still have to get in the middle of all those mass-rooted mobs to start raining.
Yeah, 07 and Nagura.
Right down on them. They just want to deal with the commanders on the side, which are not affected.
She's streaming in European.
Shakib on the side of Method
That's
and
right.
has proc cheat death as well. Yoda does not have that available. Both teams extreme. He has just
Damn, does Method and A just like straight up win this shit over Method EU? How I remember the series going is that Method EU just threw all their maps. But maybe Method and A just like dead ass won this first map straight up.
Such a good job here in Siege, and you can see that with the double spotters, you're just gonna feel for Method and A here.
2 spotters are definitely EU here at 60%, not too far behind. We do know how strong they are on single target damage.
Very end of the dungeon.
It's been so long since I've seen.
RP right after. A downtime for Method.
So, Method EU has Bloodlust. I mean, this boss is cringe.
Over to Vitkoth, as you mentioned, advantage to Horde here. They run right down and are ready to start the encounter with a double spotter. So Method and
Alliance had a longer RP at the very end.
Method EU still has 11%.
I can't tell who's what rate or faction though.
They have access, and they have one less spotter. A theme that we're constantly going to be coming.
Oh, I guess that Method and A is probably considering that guy's name is Yoda Belf.
I mean, there's a couple of things you're gonna watch.
The way you said it, it made me think she died. I mean.
Yoda right now. One of them was on live before. It's a magic debuff that, of course, can be dispelled or immune.
Oh my god, the fucking spotter is killing the gripping terror.
And also, when it gets removed somehow, we see Shaq actually proccing that, and he's
Shaq!
You have a battle rest to get him back up, but JB is dropping really low too as he
is
gets
JB dead?
by one of their artillery.
Oh no, he's alive.
And he does not get the rest off. Okay, now he got it off, but this cannot happen again for them. As I've talked about it before, they have to play well here this last set because now they're out of battle rests.
Yeah, they're out of battle reses, and he didn't. That was good communication by them. These are the same waters from the beginning.
And they should. Method and A should just like straight up win this. I'm pretty sure.
The cannon into Vitkoth and Nagura. So along with killing the remaining 2 spotters, and finally take the first game off of Method EU. Woo,
oh my god, look at that! They're fucking hype.
Big roller coaster ride on that one, but Method NA taking game 1 off of Method EU in Siege of Borealis, and you can even see it from the emotions.
JV with some hair.
Incredibly pumped up on this one, Sours.
Oh yeah.
Shaq in a Method jersey.
Game. They don't even know how close it was as well, because they're up on the stage. They're just doing their best they can the entire dungeon. I'm sure when they had those couple of deaths at the end of the dungeon, absolute panic probably sets in, right? It's good that they're able to, continue to play well, even with those couple of deaths at the very last couple of seconds, even of the dungeon.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I wanted to see what the Method EU faces were looking like. They were not. They did not look happy. They looked fucking furious.
By trash mobs. There's tank deaths.
Oh my god, Mirrors looks so young. What the fuck?
You really just can't have.
Look at him. What the fuck?
You don't expect to see out of his team.
Mirrors looks genuinely like he's 17 years old.
Here right now, Method and A for waiting, or Sours for seeing deaths on Method EU.
Let's talk about those deaths, Sours.
Oh yeah, look at this. So Mirrors ends up getting punted off the side of the boat there and gets sharked. Those mobs at the beginning.
The hairstyle, yeah. I think it's like I think it's how his face looks too.
Rest to see who is going to be gaining an advantage in the series.
Yeah, I mean, King's Rest.
This was it.
Neither of these teams run this dungeon just yet.
And at that point, it's going to be a big question.
In Sydney or something, I think.
In King's Rest.
Method EU was always the team that when you got to this dungeon, they always had something new, something small about their pulls. Skip this part of the bridge, do this part of the bridge in this order. And this time as well, when I talked to Now just a couple days ago, or a few days ago before the tournament even started, he said they had
the Bergie toy,
never before seen pull pattern coming somewhere between Machimba.
Like that was the goat toy.
Council.
Yeah, it's a very small thing. I think
it's
actually going to be a
classic Prot Warrior toy.
Skip, which no one else has done before, and they figured, why did no one else do this before? They just came up with it, but it's still small.
First global bell,
especially in a dungeon like King's Rest, because it's such a straightforward dungeon, and every little small thing can matter. As Method EU is pulling the whole boss room, as Method A doing as well, and popping both of their Bloodlust here.
Yeah, this is an extremely dangerous pull here right now, and we're going to see the tanks get out of dodge real quick here. Now, we are in a sanguine environment again. The tanks want to make sure that this is kited just about as the mobs are dying to make sure they stay out of sanguine. A lot of misplays came in here earlier from Abracadabra. It actually ended up costing them the match. So it's absolutely
Abracadabra.
Tank has a
despair
pattern here, but that he's getting the support needed from the rest of the group in the form of Ursul's Vortex, Typhoons, Ring of Peace, whatever you can to make sure these mobs are not sitting in sanguine.
Yeah, and it's very dangerous too because there's so many caster mobs that do so much damage to the tank if he's in range. That's why you see both of the tanks just kind of running around.
How old is this video?
As much as possible, so those deathly chills
2018.
Champions still be alive for both of those teams, and once they are finished up. at the match.
Over Method EU, but they're neck and neck now on percent. They have to make sure to not have a single hiccup as we see that Cloak of Shadows come out from Ginger right now to make sure that he can sit in that Shadow Smash and just deal as much damage to the boss as possible. Now getting punted away from that area. Denial deals a fair bit of physical damage, but he wants to make sure that he keeps the boss in.
Keeping.
Kill any of the members, as it is a tyrannical setting, of course, so the Spit Gold does do a lot of that. So damage-wise, they are at the same level. The problem is,
summer of
the
2018
will mean that the 5 seconds difference between those two teams might matter in the end. We see both Zalia and JB are not close to the Ray frames right now. They're not close to their team, and that's because they are pulling the two constructs in front of the.
Yeah, then they're gonna Wernstone back.
Especially because you just
deal them by themselves, and they usually survive through like.
Get to the next trash back here, so because if you don't kill off,
this feels like an eternity ago. Yeah,
it's not going to be active at all, and we have seen
History Mythic Plus video. I am
a lot too earlier than Method NA here.
Yeah, Method EU 48%.
Good news.
Right now working on.
I will be having one in a couple of weeks.
This, right now, after this, I expect it appropriately not only out of the Sanguine but near the tombs.
Do you think the race is going to be close this time? I think the last
this kind of coveted
two races have been quite close.
Has talked to us about where they will skip the 4th reaping. That might be what they need.
I even think Narabar was fairly close.
But we'll have to wait for that because first they have to deal not only this room but Machimba as well.
Undermine.
Of the beam that this construct is doing.
Undermine is weird.
Can't really be line of sight or out range because it has a huge range. And now we see both Method U and NA just gather these mobs together and probably also going to pull the constructs on either side.
You're gonna mention our 4v5? No, that we don't need to talk about that. Look, there are some things that don't need to be discussed anymore.
They will overlap their Entomb cast, and then you won't be able to get a player out for a pretty long time.
Yeah, for a pretty long time. Yeah, there's kind of like a.
I think Echo was actually kind of close in Narabar. They weren't close on Ansurek specifically. I felt like Undermine was like further away because of Muggsy, but maybe not.
Synchronize them
maybe
here
it's not true. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the last two races have been very close. I would not be shocked if this one's also close.
They don't pull Machimba, who has a fairly large aggro radius here, and they're now just bouncing between these two constructs. Method EU doing the exact same things.
I think Echo was ahead.
Some of their gooey kills with the fluids on the side, and they're at about 50 to 60% health
until
right now.
Ansurek, which
leave those plus the two constructs down.
You know, Ansurek wasn't particularly close, but
because they have to kill off both of those constructs at the very same time. Because if you get off, else they're just gonna have to use.
How I remember this entire series is just Method EU choking, but maybe Method NA just wins this shit straight up.
On Machimba, so a bit of damage lost there, unfortunately, because that spent so.
Echo was ahead in Undermine too. Yes.
Or of course any of the punt. Inside we have the Ursul's Vortex as the mobs stay in there, making sure that the Berserkers don't leap out right now. Nerfclap gets his first stack of bleed for the Berserker, and here comes.
Doing any want to kill off the Brute plus Beast.
So all eyes on Method EU right now as they're about to do the exact same thing. They're going to finish both of these mobs at the exact same time. No, they're not actually. The Beastmaster doesn't.
Oh, this Rocket Monger thing? Oh yeah, I mean.
Finished it and indeed popped their speed potions.
I think they were bad at.
Just get past this trash as quickly as possible and then shadow meld at the boss.
Yeah,
that one-arm bandit.
We can really see if this strategy is really going to pay off for Method U because they were behind right before this whole new strategy thing happened. So now their strategy split up for Method NA, Method U, and now we'll see at the end if this is actually going to pay off because they need to make up a couple of seconds, not only from being behind in general. But
wow, that 5-group shadow belt strategy was really
5 seconds from the one
innovative for 2018, I think.
Exactly what we saw in the previous series. Abracadabra did the exact same strat that Method EU is doing. They did this entire skip and the 4th Reaping Wave skip. So I guess somebody has done it. Method EU said nobody's done it before, but Abracadabra beats them to the chase, while Team D in the previous series is doing exactly what Method NA did. So we're having a really mirror situation between these two teams in King's Rest with two different strats post 80% Reaping Wave.
Third debuff.
Or old UI was terrible.
So, hopefully he does.
I was looking at the Legion one. Let me tell you, it could. This was good. This is good compared to the Legion one.
And he also needs to make
the shit was ass.
Around and not get hit by those whirling axes. And
just kill it and shadow meld the 5th wave off, as we see most teams do. 33% now for Kula, as Method E has already started on the second boss in this council encounter, Zanazal the Wise.
Yeah, Zanazal also doesn't have that many mechanics. You only want to make sure that you deal with the totems properly. The only very dangerous totem is the explosive totem. It works the same way as explosive the affix. You want to make sure you kill it fast enough before the cast goes through. Else it does a huge amount of AoE damage to your team, but it shouldn't be a problem at all for those teams. And the other two totems don't really do that much if you have a full melee team, so they're just kind of ignoring it. As you can see, the Thunder totem just being there in the right corner. corner, just kind of being ignored. And then the last boss, Akali, also is not a huge deal, as it's really just a barrel through that can be avoided by a bunch of mechanics like Shadow Melt and Vanish, and then you have the backhand as well.
Spellflood coming in from Nerf Clap there as Zenazal, the wise spawns for Method and A. Want to make sure to reflect that lightning bolt every 25 seconds, or every 25 seconds as often as possible, just to maximize damage on the boss. Here comes once again Kula the Butcher in the middle of the room. The bosses will cast their signature abilities, coming back once he's.
How does Method EU even lose this? Servers are still down.
It's about to down a little bit better.
Yeah, Method EU, I mean, this is a really dangerous pull here, and keep in mind that there's a pack on either side. Comes up from the said Witch Doctor.
Oh, does now die to this pack?
Them now has 2 stacks of the bleed right now. Gingy Prox's cheat death is here as well. Things are getting a bit too spicy. He now actually has 3 stacks of the bleed. There's no way he can drop that. He's not a dwarf right now.
Sanguine.
And he has his shield wall popped. Finally manages to get spam healed, but unfortunately Prox's cheat death trinket, that has literally saved his life on the last tick of the bleeds, and they try to finish up the rest of the trash, but Fragment says 2 stacks as well. Prox's cheat death is going to be so much damage to heal through. He goes down, and Mears gets a frost shock from the Witch Doctor as well. Finally, the healing totem comes up from the said Witch Doctor.
What a cringe dungeon!
Up on Fragments as they try to chisel down the rest of this group. So much damage coming in though, as now just starts chunking again with bleeds all over the place, and there's area denial from the Raptor on the bridge as well.
No, they have to. There's some mobs in the back that they CC'd earlier. They had blinds and saps on some of the mobs here. You can see the berserkers and the headhunters coming in. They were supposed to succeed, and now since it's taking them so long, the CC broke in the back, and the mobs are just coming in, and now there's going to be even more mechanics to deal with for them. This is such a disaster pull for them. This is taking them way too long. You see now dropping very low. He's dying. Now actually goes down. They do have a Belrus available to them, but now everyone else is aggro.
Yeah, I fucking hate this dungeon. If this dungeon never came back, it would still be too soon.
The off on Fragment, so finally 80%.
Strategy out for them at all, as they're just pulling the boss right now. So they're very far behind to Method and A. Method and A is gonna get their bloodlust up very, very soon, in a couple of seconds, and they will use it once the boss gets to 60%, and then there's not much between them and winning the second game, and it's gonna be 2-0. And they also still have 3 battle rests, so in case something goes wrong, as long as JB doesn't
this was disastrous.
get them back up too.
Yeah, I mean, this game is pretty much done at this point. Outside of a full wipe, they have 3 battle reses. Method EU has 5 deaths.
Okay, so Method NA just like straight up won map 1. Method EU through map 2 on something.
Claiming a 3-0 sweep against the indestructible. 1 game away, taking first place in the spring season here. 1 game away, Jack.
Oh my god.
Game
the
away,
cusp.
Salute as the Method NA does end up taking King's Rest. And it doesn't seem like Method EU is fully on their game or something like that.
Young Ben.
Keep having these
JB had hair. Shaq looks the exact fucking same.
Before they played each other, they were 10-2 in games. Now at this point, they're down 2 games. They're now going to be 10-4. Quite a mighty set of losses coming up against Method EU right now, Sours.
Okay, Method EU has never been in a position like this before. 1 game away from defeat in something that they shouldn't be in the spot. They told us that they didn't fly 30 hours to not win everything. However, it looks like they
oh my god, I remember the fucking flights to this were insane. Yeah, that's Mira's.
Yeah, this is such a huge disaster for Method EU. Just things are not working out for them at all.
Wait, what happened to Method EU?
Wrong here. And that's why they lost, while Method EU had a clean run. But today, everything is looking like things are turned around. It's looking like Method and A is a super clean team, while Method EU is making all those mistakes. And you can see cheat death from Gingy. Frank's just going down, as I was saying. They're just having those small mistakes here and there.
This dungeon was ass too.
Rocking their cheat deaths, and the pull is
why so that bad, Sydney?
Things that can go wrong here.
And Gingy goes down as well. This is an absolute mess. Now goes down as well. It looks like it's going to be a full team wipe right now.
It was at PAX Australia.
He's likely going to Shadow Melt to try and get the res off, even though they have the checkpoint at the beginning of the dungeon, but just to save the extra 5 seconds, the rest of the team has released, and Method EU already starting on the back foot here.
This dungeon was buns.
Only downside here, and Yoda's not going to have that for a while.
Strategy of Method and A, if it works out, as we can see.
To make sure that they one-phase the rest of the encounter. Method EU is downed, of course, Lord Storm.
Okay, so they literally lost based off of like throwing.
And that's all it takes against Method EU, and then they're the ones that did it this time, and that's all it took. It was complete role reversal here.
Every pull and Shroom was fun. Oh my god, JB. What happens whenever they? What's the pop off like?
catch up right now, and they head over to the last deal. They're going to cleave them both down together, and Method NA are going to close this out with a 3-0 win in just a moment here over Method EU. They've done the impossible. They've downed the undefeatable team, and they've claimed victory for the spring season of the MDI in Sydney, Australia.
It didn't happen in Cup 1, 2, 3, but it happened on land. Method and A are our spring final champions here as they down Method EU, who has only ever lost one series, which was this one. A huge sigh of relief for Method NA.
Oh, it was an ESL. It wasn't at PAX. That's right.
These teams have been battling against each other for weeks.
Always struggle to do, make these small mistakes almost from Method.
Now
been the best.
What's the JB interview like?
Total this year leading up to the series. You just beat them 3 times in a row. How did you do this?
Look, first I want to say Method EU has consistently been the best team in this tournament and in every cup play. Maybe the best team that the World of Warcraft has ever seen in any competitive format. Like, these guys are top-notch players, across the board. Fantastic leadership, super great guys to hang out with. I love them, and unfortunately one of us had to lose here. I gotta say, I didn't see this turning out this way. I guess it had to happen eventually that we beat them, so I'm glad it was now.
Okay, well that's good. So you finally took them down, but it's been a long time coming. What makes Method EU such a worthy opponent?
God, everything. I mean, they have some of the some of the brightest minds in Mythic Plus coming up with routes. Consistently, you see Method EU
JB's the same.
time trials with these blistering times, and you're going like, oh my god, you're just imagining the crazy stuff they must be doing to get these times, and then you actually see them run it in the cup, and all the routes are, there's nothing wild here. That's just very, consistent, fast.
So much hair.
Nothing too
Bro,
crazy, nothing.
He's got the island. What do you mean so much?
You just go, I'm like, why? It's so simple, and why didn't I think of that? You see it and you go, I feel like I should have been able to come up with that. Why couldn't I come up with that? And then they've got guys that, obviously, these guys are pretty much either have been or are currently in, the top rating guild in the world. So, you've got guys that are going to execute. You're never going to take the same route they have and just beat them on it by raw execution. Those are guys that are fantastic players, great thinkers, a lot of fun to party with. And I intend to be doing that tonight with them.
Well, I mean, you've certainly been singing their praises, but how did it feel to get the win? Like, how do you feel right now?
It's a first. Beating Method EU, so I'm still processing. Like, that's, I gotta say, the guys on Method NA, they believed in this when I don't think a lot of other people did. And, we know what we're capable of. We haven't routinely put it all together on stage. That's not always been, consistency has not necessarily been our strong suit. So
with that prize money gone to Turkey, okay.
But that's one of, another one of
Method. I think JB looks good bald.
Is just consistency. These guys don't make mistakes. You're never gonna.
I think JB looks younger now than he does with the balding look.
Throw, maybe they'll just do something stupid and just give us the dungeon. Method EU does not do. That's kind of their calling card. Is they make you beat them. And I mean, these guys, they played amazing 3 dungeons in a row. That's some of the best dungeons we've done across the board on all those 3 dungeons. And they put it, they brought it together when they needed to, and beat the top dog of the tournament.
So. World isn't ready for that.
And you must be so proud of your team. Is there anything you'd like to say to congratulate
This is crazy.
them?
What other MDIs are crazy? I remember the BlizzCon finals that year. Method EU just fucking windmill dunked everybody that season. Show the one where Incarnation won? Jesus, I haven't thought about that in a hot minute. What was that? Shadowlands Season 2? This one right here. Oh no, it was this one right here. Holy fuck, Incarnation beat them twice? Were these the GOATs? What the fuck is this? They won twice? Something went wrong. Where am I? The fuck? What was this? Shadowlands Season 2 Global Group 3 or something? I mean, I'm pretty sure they had the best Mist of Tyranid Scythe route. I'm pretty sure they were just like the fastest in that dungeon. And then that entire that globals was insane. That season finals. Ambition. So Perplex was the #1 seed, and Ambition fucking upset them in the round. This was. I mean, they just got fucking stunted on Halls of Atonement. Yo. MDI Global Finals. Classic Arena Tournament? Nope, none of that. Great push. Is the MDI not on here? Huh. Oh, it's because it was on fucking YouTube. Let's see. Find it. God. This era. I forgot about this shit. The YouTube era. Yeah. ABC. Rolling. MDI Season 2 Group C Day 1 full VOD. Be Day 2. That'll be Day 3.
A little bit faster.
Because of Overwatch. Yeah, we got Overwatch. Wasn't that fucking stupid? Oh my god, Echo wipes in this halls? Huh? What? Yeah, we got Overwatch. That was really dumb.
On top of that, you have the boss, which does like a Shadow Bolt volley kind of cast, and then just like a bolt cast on the tank. And all of these things is the one that's going through since it is inspiring. This is a very dangerous pull. Now's HP is the one that's in jeopardy. And right as I say that, he goes down. This is so bad for Echo. They have to get an engineering res on him.
This is Bob. Now he's still at point, which an inspired Bob. Now they finally managed to guard again to get the nice quick. And if you could,
Ultimately, it's going to be the difference here.
Okay, so what happens in the Mists?
far. Looks like both of them are executing this pull pretty nicely. Definitely decently difficult, especially because you have the Grievous affix as well, and you also have the Spiteful Shades that just keeps.
This is when Yoda was randomly playing fucking Kyrie and
And you
Moonkin.
also have the Ashen committed by.
That was ridiculous.
Is what it is. So a little bit of lore from Automatic Jack. But now the Incarnation guys have Mistcaller down a little bit
Faster before a substantial pull. Looks like they pulled 3 trash groups together. Ice block? Oh, okay. Somehow I did no damage. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, I remember this. Echo was playing like a full fucking Fizz comp, and Incarnation was like playing a full magic damage comp. That was the deal with this season.
I guess he just used one of his shields. Either way, Incarnation. But they need a lot less trash percentage.
That was a
They had
device.
Stimulant heal from that Staghorn cast just.
I think he was moving the fucking Kiergan around.
Where they were yesterday, whenever they were doing that pull, but it was maze area.
The
Again, in
Smite
just a
Pro
second.
League.
Get beating it down. They use that shroud.
Not in the middle of the.
That's 7%. In
Incarnation just wins this shit.
On him, but we're not sure if they can get everyone back up at this point. Incarnation are already done with the boss, and they're moving on to the last trash.
Echo versus Reload Esports. Echo almost lost this, right?
Very similar final matchup of immediately blocks them. To
No.
make sure that they are coming. all
They
the
almost
way
lost to
down.
Reload Esports in a different season.
But everything else, including the trash, including the players.
Yeah, that was when Growlendorky had Pash. Oh my god, the spike. You know, this is when the bats missed.
They are on their heels. They did catch a lantern.
Doesn't stop. I was looking at Discord right before this match, and I
0 deaths on the board, 10 seconds in favor of Echo. So now, again, all eyes on Echo as they're gathering up this first...
That's the Spires? Wait, what happened in the Spires? We're now took it twice? Wait, what do you mean?
Echo coming back, getting the momentum flowing, and
Zalia is resting, but the hurls from those usurpers are just getting everyone so low because they were all in raging range and just throwing.
Getting these too early, they want Orifrion to be in.
He took it by mistake and went backwards?
You can see up on every
I mean, he looks like he's here.
They do have a touch. They did manage to kill a fear. They don't have otherwise mid.
It looks like he doesn't take it twice. Maybe I'm
They have the
cooked.
Sagadon increased physical damage taken.
Sagadon.
That run through very dangerous. 50%.
It's the first one. Is there even... Oh, over here, like these angels.
Here, sitting on this corner.
Sagadon, yeah. This was the era where fucking Blizzard kept naming things after DN.
Group.
Whenever you leave.
Oh my god, that was so dumb.
For a throughput.
Did he actually take this shit twice? I can't even remember this.
Spell is really important for that triple angel pull. There was so much change up their strategy. They see they now are boss. Well, game secures that.
First of all, with the Ether Shears, next thing.
Hold on, I'm tabbing forward.
Actually, just as I say that, both thing, but they.
The UI has improved, actually. I can see what's going on.
Where Reload Esports, it's like we were talking about. Look, they're using their Kyrian Spear here. Echo didn't even need it for this pull. They also dropped their Ashen Hollow, so their pack is going to die really fast.
Intanax.
Is
it this angel, maybe?
And the healing, basically making up.
Go, they bring Esports. Although
do a pretty. At least I assume
No.
they're going to do a substantial pull after this.
Remember.
So maybe they're saving some of their offensives. Now you can see.
No, this expansion sucked fucking ass. This expansion was terrible.
What they really executed.
Bonkers, and it's not going to stop now as we now pull
More trash, but they're gonna beat all of those offensives they've
over yet. Echo does currently have a significant advantage, but we've seen how volatile and be on
cheat death here that he thankfully still had available for himself. But you can see there's just so much stuff going on at the same time. You have the Sentinel casting the Swirlies on the ground. You have all of those bursting stacks going off at the same time. All of the defense. They were basically, instead of running down the stairs, they stayed up the stairs.
Oh, the finals, he did this.
Spiteful's in a very narrow area, which seemed to be saving them a little bit more time.
Oh, that's good shit, actually.
Stairs, backtracking and then having to go back up. It is just a little bit of.
This is the Prideful season. This was the other season, Tormented, I think.
No, going.
Goodbye now.
He must have dealt quick. That is gonna be such.
This is a good one. That's a good clip. Oh shit.
Had to be committed already. Cloak, bubble, and ice block. Everything has been used, and all of the dwarf rituals as well to get rid of those bursting stacks. And now you're gonna get those charges out, which are gonna do so much damage. You can see one on Zalia and one on Gingy.
This was the first season that Coach Mirez was a thing.
Nagura, is Echo missing count? They're at 98%.
Echo is missing count.
They are missing count.
We have to keep an eye on that. They'll be able to pull a bat after the fact to get the rest of that count, but Incarnation has just now gone into their pull. Everything is active. The Bloodlust pop, Ashen Hollow and Wings down. General Call dropping incredibly low. They're going to be catching up to Echo a little bit here because they still have that Lantern buff active and their Bloodlust active, but keep in mind, Echo do still need to deal with trash, whereas Incarnation has their 100% trash. But just one more thing, the 10-second death differential is going to be a major factor. Once Echo deals with General Call here, they have to go back into the hallway and find, I believe, one of the vampire bats that flies.
This is the craziest ending of all time. Gingy is so fucking mad, by the way, whenever this ends.
That's gonna be a big deal for them.
Yeah, definitely. Look at Echo. And
Look at him, look at him. He realizes that he doesn't have count.
Do anything. They just have to wait until they get down, and now they're gonna have to find that.
Oh my god.
Backwards. They're gonna have to find that bat, and maybe if it's a bad patrol, they might not even get it immediately. You can see they're just like panically trying to look for it. They're just
oh my god.
Trash in the hallway. But Incarnation, they're getting closer and closer to the boss. Again, 10 seconds in favor of Echo.
Oh no, this is literally like minus 50 seconds or something.
It's taking them so long long to actually find any trash. They just
The
run
bats at the very beginning of
desperately
this.
trying to find some trash, but it's such a long run back to them to get there. General
it gonna
count
happen
getting lower
again?
and lower for Incarnation.
Is the team that pulled the boss first going to lose every single map in this dungeon? The boss is down
10
for
seconds.
Incarnation. Stop the clock. 10 seconds on the board.
Oh, they missed a
Echo needs to
caster?
these trash mobs in the next 10 seconds, or this is going to be
The bat
chance
is
of
funnier.
Incarnation, and that's it. The timer is gone. Incarnation has taken this series and this.
Oh my god. Look at him, he's death slamming. Oh, he's pissed. This era was fucking insane.
Oh, you can just see the
Oh, he was
frustration there by
pissed.
As they unfortunately do lose the series to Incarnation, and I know what it's been like to just miss
Oh
one trash
my
percentage.
god.
Be able to finish that dungeon. That's just gotta feel so.
Oh,
terrible.
fuck.
And
What a debut Incarnation.
Rewinding it.
That's it. The timer is gone.
The other team has won. You have lost.
Over Echo 2-1. Oh my god.
Oh,
What a debut for this squad.
Oh, you can just see the frustration there by Gingy as they unfortunately do lose the series to Incarnation.
Very demoralizing message. Yeah, holy shit. That was a good one. Feels like bad sportsmanship on broadcast? I really don't think so.
Like to just miss one little trash percentage and not be able to finish that dungeon. That's just gotta feel so terrible for Echo as they fall. To
I don't think that's bad sportsmanship.
Pulled off some incredibly risky strategy.
He's not saying it to the other competitors. I think bad sportsmanship is whenever you're expressing it to the other competitors. Whenever you're just mad and passionate about something, I don't think it's bad sportsmanship.
Sanguine Depths with an incredible victory.
It's definitely not normal. I think if you watch any other sports, like sports competitors, I feel like that's kind of common.
These two teams that have been just neck and neck in every single.
They get pretty.
And as Zyro
I don't know.
For the third game in the series, the team that we thought.
Yeah, Gingy would never say that to other teams.
In fact, ended up losing, which means Incarnation are our Group C champions. Huge congratulations to them in their first weekend. They are the only team in MDI history to hold a
In the NBA, you can't do shit
against Echo, which is a completely absurd achievement.
Teams definitely.
For anybody. But
Wembanyama went on during the finals. He was getting fucking questions by the press, and he was like, "I don't have to be here," and then he fucking left. He was way pissier than that.
The talent that they have on their team, and you just got to be amazed at the performance that they've had through this Sanguine Depths. We got
in the NFL. You saw Richard Sherman screaming at Pete Carroll about running the goddamn ball.
This is a place where I think again there's pretty big separation between the teams. The way they
Richard Sherman was literally screaming at Pete Carroll.
Getting that insane.
And Marshawn Lynch was laughing at his coach.
You know, making this boss happen like this with all of their cooldowns. You give up a little bit of count. You have to use your cooldowns in a different way. But look at the damage they did. This is
beast
the end of the
mode.
boss fight.
Yeah.
Look at those meters. Look at that.
That was beast mode.
Damage there coming out from Yoda across this entire pull. That is just a crazy amount for something that's
Older
not
events
made to be doing on a boss. I mean, that is crazy.
That Dragonflight one was also lit. The one that mandatory one. This one is a fucking elite MDI. Brackets? Oh my god, it went a full 5 maps? I don't fucking remember this shit at all.
The dungeon that mandatory.
I did not remember it going to a full 5 maps. Damn. That's crazy.
3 dungeons is all they need.
All right, looks like it's time for dungeon number 1 to start. Get to see who takes the early lead. Is it going to be mandatory? Is it going to be...
Of course, we can 3 times, and they have the back one that we have a little bit of a difference in.
Oh my god, no healer! I forgot about this season. This season was fucking cooked.
And other than that,
Oh my god, I forgot people didn't play a healer this season.
Mini bosses a little bit earlier, so they're also going to get the boss spawn early on their side.
Yeah, Mode going to go on a brief adventure here for mandatory, but like you said, that RP has been started earlier.
Such
for
a good
Echo,
Boomkin
so they'll be
season
able to
2.
fight the boss. It's actually quite a long time that you have to wait for tier to become attackable, which is why teams always try and find something good to be doing during this downtime. And mandatory have got this pull nearing the end, although now they're all raging, so a little bit of danger. Mode returns to the group with some extra enemies.
I think Zalia was playing like Orbital
Echo
Strike
already
or some
entering
shit
combat
during
with
this
tier
dungeon. I
first,
remember he
though.
was playing some crazy shit in here.
Definitely the early advantage. Well, I mean, Mandatory may be coming out of here with some more count. We'll have to actually look at the end once tier goes down, but I think Mandatory have grabbed a little bit more total trash. But they can't not release.
The
can
portal
they?
shit in here was
The ad going into the
crazy.
crappy dungeon is what's happening for Echo. All right.
He's gonna die.
Morchi.
Die.
How did the snap work again? You like wrath a fucking mob or something?
Right.
Yeah, those
I
two
think
deaths.
a clean run. Now, of course,
Wait, Echo's like wiped.
Oh, this is the
magic debuff on the hit.
they're gonna be anybody in Echo dies and they don't have a res or a battle res available for that person.
I do not
they're
miss
gonna
this
be
dungeon.
out
This
of luck.
dungeon
They're gonna
fucking
have to run
sucked.
back
This
all
area
the
was
way
ass.
through that RP gauntlet again. At the start of our weekend, we've seen Echo drop this map. Is that? Oh, it's happening again. There goes 2 deaths for Echo.
Oh, the
Here's
frontal
Daily
from the
with this map
anomaly?
through that RP gauntlet
What the
again.
fuck?
At the
How
start
does the frontal kill people
of our
here?
weekend, we've seen Echo.
What? Did somebody rip thread on this thing?
Drop
Jesus.
This map. Is that? Oh, it's happening again. There goes 2 deaths for Echo, Miraz, and Zalia going down, and they can't release. If they hit release Spirit, they're gonna have to run all the way back to the RP again. But they can't not release, can they? I mean.
Oh yeah, because you don't click the thing, right?
Yeah, Belrus and Zelia.
Oh. And then he
Shadow
is not in
Meld rest.
combat.
All right.
He didn't. I don't think he even
Oh yeah,
had to meld.
Here's a magic debuff on him.
Oh my goodness, he is in
needs to be-
danger.
All right, so they got the out of combat rest. Oh, clicks
But now
does go
Clicks is
down to
down.
an infinite burn.
Oh
they don't
my
have interest because
God.
of their damage dealers being down, and they do have to use another out of combat.
This is
rest to bring that
disastrous.
up. This is such a big time loss for Echo because they didn't activate that portal.
And also, this is the Rift Mage that they wanted to snap, right? They wanted to bring this over to the side, but
Oh,
they
no, it's
had to
not,
kill
it's
it so they could. Oh, it's not. Okay, all right, yeah,
It's
no,
not,
we're
okay.
good, we're good. It's all good. Okay, phew. Not to worry. This is the second,
And they
not the
cannot use
third
Shadow
Rift
Meld,
Mage.
right? So Celia cannot Shadow Meld to rescue
Yeah.
here because he needs to Shadow
The
Meld.
mode's gonna
to
wrath
Rift
this
for
guy,
his
right?
strategy.
And
So
then
they have
meld
to
while
do
the wrath is in
Rift
the air,
Mage,
then go through
they
the
have to
portal?
rest clicks, then they have to do the Rift Mage pull. This is gonna be an insane time loss. Now, I
Mode
do
is
wanna say,
fucking
though, that this was
AFK.
such a- like, yes, they lost a lot more time.
No.
They lost a
pulled
lot
an
more
ad.
time. Oh, it's fine. Miras
It's
is
okay.
resting. Yeah. So again, Sally is going down. Oh,
And
God.
there was
So
like
this
there was
is,
like insane
again, so much
warlock
damage
snapping
because
this
the portal
season. I remember
was
that.
activated. But I do want to say that even if the portal was activated, they still would have lost.
I remember the Black Cold.
Like this is a high risk strategy that is not saving them that much time, but that's exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, but you would like get the mob to 0.5%. Everybody would meld it off, and then Skylark would pull it away, and then meld it off like last second, and then it would snap to mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he would run away, and then he would whenever mode is ready, he would snap it onto the platform.
Yeah, I think they would have lost either way if Mandatory has a perfect run with those two.
Skylark now looks like trying to set up the summon accept tech, but it's actually
think he's in
still
combat.
in combat with one of these mobs, so he's gonna have to go stand
Yeah.
in the sand, die,
And then get summoned
then,
again.
Able to actually finally.
got it.
Oh, maybe he didn't die. No, all right. So he just had to get far enough away from that distortion to drop combat with it, and weird.
It was some bullshit with
weird
threat.
mob behavior. They do that when they start snapping. Stuff gets weird, but.
Oh, and now the Rift
Mandatory-
Mage, the other Rift
Oh,
Mage is over here.
No, is that? Have we pulled the mobs behind us here?
Yes,
we
you did.
have. Zalia's pulled them off, and still I'm off, I think.
So Echo just loses this first map. That was crazy.
They have so much damage coming in with the keepers, with the.
For mode, it's available, and he presses it.
Oh my god. Sub 10 minute of Taltazar.
Here and there.
Does Echo win Waycrest?
Of peace by Sally in just a moment as the
Oh yeah.
Darkheart Thicket, Mandatory did have a 0-death run against Perplexed earlier this weekend. So they
DHT, we do know approximately what Mandatory is doing. They actually have a pretty cool gateway strategy here on the left side. Echo, though, let's see what they're doing as they.
Well, I
I'm
think
not
you
sure,
need to
like,
lust
okay.
this pull with the
So,
boss.
Yeah, oh, that's Miras. Miras does
is
go
perished.
down. They do have a battle rest that they use to finish off the rest.
Trash, and that with Plum are working against.
I
them
remember
here,
at some
so,
point during this season, Mandatory like
also
fucking
probably gonna
cheated
go
in
with
this dungeon.
Sauron actually killing off the boss here. but I think
Love Vintage Demon Hunter
Mandatory
seasons.
got
This is like
better
the
at
Vintage
building
Demon
this
Hunter
dungeon.
season.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Echo actually is planning to finish off this dungeon in like 10 minutes or less because of
Yeah,
the
they, like-
timings. Because using
I
it
think
50
pulling
seconds
in a
into the
specific
dungeon,
way
that
was
means
banned. Like pulling with a pet through the wall was banned, but if you pulled the mobs before the wall came up, it was okay.
they can only use one even if they would use
It was something weird. There was like a specific nuance to. Oh my fucking god! Mode got ran over by the bear.
Sketchy. Now's Cheat Death Trinket is almost certainly going to proc here.
I was just done with no healer. No, this is played with a
somehow
healer.
It's not. He is okay. Get in, so they won't have to wait as long for them to group up.
Everbloom was a no healer dungeon, I
That was how
think.
they snapped all that trash onto the first boss as well. Annoying. So 14 million healing. Not great for Echo, but it's happening for Mandatory as well.
Oh, does Sanguine stream?
Healing is on the dwellers as well, which is the worst targets to receive the healing here because they're the ones that need to die to spawn the boss here, of course. Now all of the dwellers are dead for Echo, and that means Okard is. But Gingy does go down to a root burst. Actually, that means they cannot engage Okard because they don't have a battle rest available. Celia
More safe with a ret paladin healing the rest of
it.
it.
Gingy back up here, but sometimes using that Shadow Melt pretty difficult as a restorer to actually leave combat.
People played
It seems
Og
like
as
you
well.
can Actually, use the rest.
I think at this
Everyone's
at some
Shadow
point
Melt, it
too.
looks like to drop combat completely. Not sure if they completely are out of combat here. There we go. Sally can cast a revive, but you can see some of these blossoms are still aggroed on some of
Do you
the
think it's
players
overall
who
better
lost
for
in
worse
combat.
for MDI as they
We'll see
impose
if they can get the
restrictions
rest
on
of the cap.
snapping
This is
and unintended
exactly
strats?
what Mandatory needed to get back into this dungeon.
I think it
as they're
depends.
Fighting Okard now down to 70%.
Generally speaking, I think
Yeah,
it's.
3 deaths on the board.
I
for
think
Echo.
this was
One
kind
for
of a
Mandatory,
pretty
which
decent
does
era.
mean that there's still only 10 seconds of bonus for Mandatory. But
In terms of allowing
Mandatory
people to
now
do
almost
fucking
half
everything,
the
but
boss
also at
ahead
the same
as well.
time
So the question to me
not
is, will
letting
either
somebody
team
cheat
be
again?
able to do like that last pull
I think that
onto the
once
last
Blizzard
boss
started,
cleanly? And of
I think the
course,
bigger issue is
they'll be
Blizzard's
able to
like
kill Okard here without
changing the
Sanguine
functionality
there
inside
are
the
a couple
dungeons,
keepers
right?
Under the boss, at least for Mandatory.
Yeah, and Mandatory did deal with more enemy forces, so I think Mandatory can actually skip maybe 2 packs in that last tunnel leading up to the last boss, which
This is post Og nerf. Yeah, but I mean, if you have 3 DPS in your fucking dungeon, it doesn't matter.
boss.
It's like insane
And
damage.
It would also make Sanguine management a lot easier, which we've seen that.
Yeah, exploiting mob behavior bugs is cool. I think snapping specifically too should almost always be allowed, mostly because snapping is fucking sick.
Keepers are gonna live longer than Okard
It's
here, which means that they're
misdirection.
actually
Don't
gonna
worry,
spend
I got a
some
video
extra
coming out about
time finishing
that.
those off. But it's much safer with Sanguine and not risking that
I gotta record.
healing onto the boss at all. Echo now down to 36%, and again, both teams completely out of.
Have you already talked about the Playboard incident? No.
And,
I'll have a video coming out about it in probably like a month though. The Playboard incident was fucking insane.
get back in, especially if somebody dies on a boss.
Yeah, this is going to be a very uphill struggle for Echo, right?
Echo already lost this, right?
So my guess is they're probably not.
And this is
mode here, so that is one more defensive that will not be available for Mandatory. Stove going to pop Dispersion as well to run up these stairs.
Dominator. Oh yeah. There.
Between the two teams, which one will be able to get this done more quickly? Now, of course,
this is
it.
it.
Looked like they were standing around waiting a little while on Echo's side. Mandatory also going to have to wait a little bit here for the rest of the group to get up to where they want to go.
Oh my god. The beatdown.
That is catastrophic. They do not have a battle res for him, which means Zalia is going to die as well. And what do you even do to recover from this?
Lose.
Do you just accept this
You
summon
lose.
and then do the end of the dungeon?
No, they
and then
have
go
to.
back to the start?
I think since now and Celia can just release, I think they have to try and gather everything again and do the same thing again. I think they just have to release.
You post that video? I don't think so.
He's gonna proc his cheat death. Okay, it's all right.
That's fine. It's fine.
Cheat death trinket for a reason. Skylark was able to use that to stay alive now, and Crims waddling up towards those mobs. This is Mandatory's moment. This is their opportunity. There's that Frost Nova. Sigil. Accept summon, Invis, accept summon. Here we go. Mandatory have gotten this done. Will they be able to actually survive the pull though?
This strat was fucking silly. What the fuck?
Pull started.
Like that was so cool. That and Rise, I think, had some of the most insane strats I've ever seen with snapping.
As they also started this boss a little bit ahead of Echo.
Oh
now.
my god.
Mandatory in the lead.
It's sad that they removed that
This is the
shit.
last game of the series.
But they don't
There's
allow it
no way
anymore.
for Echo to recover if they can't win this Blackrock hold. They have to find. Did come back up.
Intermission They do have Infernal available.
Seems
no
good. Dude, this
flash,
show is so
and
cool.
Blast ready as well, and Wings from Mode.
You have to be hella autistic to figure it out. Bro, these people are competing in World of Warcraft in 2026. They are all autistic.
Quickly without any devs coming in.
No flame.
They don't have a healer.
We all have
Any
it.
of these swarms, any of the volleys are just going to be doing so much damage to your group. But the boss is just absolutely melting for Mandatory. And keep in mind, this is a best.
We were playing World of Warcraft in
They're going to
2026.
be the champions of
What in the
grand final.
hyperfixation?
All their cooldowns are rolling right now inside the Bloodlust as well. This is it.
Watching
This is it. They
you
have the
watch it.
damage. They have
This
the
is
damage by
sick.
a mile. They're good. This is all they need to do. Just don't do anything stupid from here. Stop that incorporeal cast. They've managed to do it. They just have to kill the boss. There it is. Mandatory.
Oh my god. Hey, look at this. Oh my god. This is the first time they won. They just freaking the fuck out.
Mandatory topple the Giants. They are the MDI champions. And Macy's just gone. He's just out.
By Mandatory.
You know they were all freaking the fuck out whenever that happened.
Seriously, they did it, and not only did they do it.
Who did we get
they
for
took
interview
it
that
to the
season?
limit. They
Stove?
went all the way to game number 5 against.
Oh my god, we got the entire fucking team. Look at this shit. They all showed up. They all wanted the interview. I forgot about this.
Did you pick up that snapshot? Was that something you had going into?
Oh my god, this one Dranos was missing a tooth. Oh my god, I forgot about this.
We did practice it for a bit, yeah, and it was like
The toothless era of Dranos. God damn, I forgot.
It was somehow hard to execute sometimes because.
Why was Dranos missing a tooth? I don't remember.
So you had to like pre-feint the potion so you don't get comboed with incorporeal.
It fell out and he needed to go to a fucking dentist to get it repaired. And the MDI finals was that weekend or something. It was like...
Nicely done. I do have one question about the group stage performance versus the global final.
Yeah, I got chipped eating breaders. It was something like that.
In the group stage. What did you guys do to recover from that and perform so well and so consistently, like not having...
Was it hard,
basically
Brett?
any
I have no
rest,
idea.
like,
Stop
first
eating
2
this.
days?
Let go.
Tournament, like-
Oh, Nagura DC'd.
Is
she gone? I thought my fucking...
Yeah, lucky. Nagura's gone.
Yeah, GG, Nagura. Is she gone?
Oh, she's...
yeah, lucky. Nagura's gone.
Goodbye, Nagura.
Just assume that she finished her thought.
Yeah, group stage, then going into the global finals.
Yeah, this is that same stove.
Yeah, so basically I think...
Yeah, I don't...
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Have they turned the servers on yet? Nagura. Nope, server's still down. How long are these fuckers gonna be down for? Madge, yeah. I'm trying to play. Oh my gosh. Storms, thank you for the 3 months. Welcome back. Lay down. All damage reduced by 10%. Melee damage reduced by 20%. So a pretty big nerf to Frost. Wow, a pretty big nerf to Unholy too. What the fuck? Both of them got kind of shit on. Devourer. There's room for damage and builders up. Okay. The Havoc one doesn't make any sense. I have no idea. I thought Havoc was like decent, but I never was like, oh wow, Havoc is fucking OP or anything. What did they do with Scale Commander? They fucking nerfed they nerfed the shit out of Og, by the way. This is an insane nerf. Yeah, this is a huge nerf. I hope Og is dead. That spec might be dead. Yeah, you might be saved. I mean, this is, at least for Mythic Plus, right? This is a massive nerf for Mythic Plus. You have to play an actual spec. GG. Yeah, it'll be like normal as opposed to you trying to fucking get these 40-second cooldown breaths. I think Atonement is battling Psychic Link for most changed ability. They buff and nerf this shit like on cooldown. They nerf the fuck out of the AF set. All damage increased by 10%. The AUG changes are horrendous. I mean, it's definitely a big nerf. 0% top bars. Dude, AUG is fun. Big Boomkin buffs? I mean, these are definitely not... I wouldn't describe them as small. I was looking at it earlier, I think it's somewhere between like 5 and 7% probably in Mythic Plus. No rogue changes? No. Nobody's working on rogue. When the fuck would rogue get changes? Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I had like 3 hours worth of MDI shit prepped to where we could look through. And then now that I've gone through 2.5 hours worth of MDI stuff, the servers still aren't up. Now I don't know what to do. The content that I had prepped to wait for the servers to come up is now over. Now what? Tier list of the bench guests. No. What's Stove doing? They didn't know which to gear? I don't know. It's fucking... DK is broken right now. Like, last patch, DK... Like, I only knew what was really OP, and it was like... DK, Augmentation Evoker, Arcane Mage... Like, both Unholy and Frost DK. Affliction Warlock. But, like, I don't really know anything about... Like, the melee... I don't know. It's hard because people only play the shit that's, like, super OP. And so you don't really know how middling some of the middling shit is. Tier list of Tettle's takes? Oh my gosh. Tier list of Tettle's hate comments. I think the worst take of all time that I ever had was the fucking you should go Kyrian. That take was terrible. Look, sometimes you're just wrong. What the fuck? Oh, Doug, you just reloaded the page. Tier list of WoW tier lists? Doug, you're on my keyboard, buddy. What are you doing? Ah! It was a great take. Yeah, it was a great take for some people. What is this? What if you use a healer or tank without 99% logs? Healing and tanking is different. 99% up. Parsing in general for healers can be, you know, useful. I think most of the healers in my guild are like Fucking purple parsing. FaZe's character. Okay. This guy tries his hardest to parse all the time, and he still averages a 90 percentile. I think realistically, healing is so much different. PTR update deployed. Oh my god, let me in. I think that like as long as your logs are like okay, you can probably go pretty high. I think with healing and tanking, it's probably one of those things that logs don't really matter too much, and connections I think are going to be a little bit more impactful. There's also this thing where there's less available spots in a guild for healers and tanks than there are for DPS, and you actually can't fucking play the game if you don't have enough tanks. So tanks are going to always be contingent on like what a guild's needs are. What is this? I think the WoW formula isn't working for me anymore. How do you feel about it? The constant chase for the better piece of gear over and over again. I don't know. It's just not fun anymore. You do a raid Mythic Plus dungeon just to get better gear. You should maybe stop playing, but it kind of makes me sad because the game is such a big part of my life. I wish I had more fun with it. What was he talking about? Like bonus rolls and Sporefall raid and stuff like that, and the aluminum foil. Kind of tired of the seasonal progression. Yeah. Most guilds don't deep dive logs of trials. I think it depends. Most probably won't. It probably depends on the level. I would say it's probably accurate to say most don't. Fun is what you make of it. Being a collector and casual player, the game is a completely viable way to play. Like, you can be completely... Yeah. You're simply looking for motivation to play in the game. That's kind of a good take. Hot take, I want AP back. I actually don't know if I want AP back specifically, but I do want a large system-wide change for the game to try to get me to log in every single day, right? That's something that, like, over time, it's something that I realize that I want, is that I want the reason, I want a reason to log in every single day. I don't even know if, I don't think AP specifically is like that for me, because I actually don't really care what it is. I don't think they need to bring back AP, but I do wish I had like a reason to log in every single day. I didn't hate AP. Dude, fucking, hold on, let me see if I can find the Preach video. There was a Preach video that I was watching about Titan Forging and Artifact Power. Preach Artifact Power. The people in the comments were fucking pissed. Okay, I was looking for fucking Preach. I wonder what Asmongold actually said about Artifact Power after grinding his 54th trait. This is back in that era before that guy just hated World of Warcraft. What the fuck is he gonna say about this?
Sup, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold, and today I wanted to share with you guys my experiences and also give, I guess, a bit of a retrospective on.
Instead of going to the gym, you go to Maw of Souls. This guy. That's a good fucking post. Oh shit.
Artifact power grinding now that I've reached my 54th trait on my arms weapon.
No, this guy didn't vote.
I don't really understand entirely how artifact.
You think this guy voted?
And what that really means, I'll go ahead and explain it very, very quickly here. Now, artifact weapons have 54 right now. They're going to be increased later on, but right now they have 54 total traits, right? So the first 34 traits actually modify different spells, right? So it gives you like Raging Blows, gives you more damage, or Battle Cry has a shorter cooldown. There's tons of different traits, right? Those are all the little ones that you click, right, all over your weapon. But after you get all 34 of those traits, there are 20 extra traits that you can get that give you either a flat damage increase if you're a DPS class or a DPS spec, and they'll give you an armor bonus if you...
Oh, this is the video that I watched. Titan Forging, the pros and cons. I remember everybody in the comment section of this video fucking hated Titan Forging.
Ladies and gentlemen, Titan Forging. hot topic recently, but it's been around for a while. Why is it now such a big thing? Why is it a thing that people are pointing out as... And this is just getting stupid. This has just gotten ridiculous. A lot of people feeling that way, and it's an interesting one because it has been around.
Oh my god,
long.
Final Boss
Many people
TV,
have grumbled
downvote.
at it. They have featured it as being an issue for some people, but it hasn't been the forefront of issues. Now it's kind of a big thing that a lot of people are talking about. It's like, this is just really dissatisfying and unrewarding. This I don't like the way this is working anymore. It's destroyed a lot of my ambition. But a lot of people are also seeing is like, I don't see it as a problem, because why would you care what other people have? And that is a kind of stance I have. I don't care what other people have in terms of gear. So is it a problem? Well, I think we should talk about it a little bit, because there are pros and cons to it, which is the case of most things. You can't just say, this is definitely a problem, and everybody should agree with me, right? That's crazy. But also at the same time...
This is 30 minutes long.
Are a tank spec.
I wanted to listen to Asmongold on fucking
I don't know if they give
AP.
you a healing increase or what.
What he said.
But basically, they give you more throughput, right? So the first point that you get, the first point out of those 20, gives you 5%.
Ask FM?
After that 5%, there are 19
What the
other
fuck?
points that you can
Get
get.
an Ask
Each one of those
FM.
points
What
gives you
year is this?
5%. And,
Jesus.
I'm assuming this is where the math works out, is that the total that you end up with is 14.5% more damage, right? So whenever I heard about this and whenever I realized it, I knew that I had to get this as soon as I could, or really not as soon as I could, but whenever it was more realistic to get, because obviously this would give me a huge advantage, right? Because if you have a person, like for most people, artifact power grinding ends, I guess as a grind, ends at 35, right? Because you get all 34.
He had good WoW
spell
takes
modifier
for a
traits,
while.
and you get your first Paragon point, and then you're basically done. Because
And then
all
he became a
three traits,
grifter.
There's a very, very...
His first
very
grift,
big difference in
anti-Blizzard.
returns there. But after you get, hypothetically, I mean, if you were to get all 20 of those traits, you would be doing 9.5% more damage than somebody who only had the Paragon trait. So whenever I realized that, and I knew in order to actually get like rank 1 logs, or
And I was just a
anything like
rage
that, I
baiter.
had to actually get all of these points done and put myself in the best position possible. I basically farmed Maw of Souls for days, and so I wanted to share with you guys, I guess, like what the positives of artifact power is and what the negatives are, and I just have a discussion.
His first grift was
And
literally that
also
Blizzard is
ask you
ass.
guys, I guess,
And
how
then
do you guys think
now
that the
he's
system has turned
wherever he is
out?
now.
Now, for myself personally, I farmed all 54 traits, and I have not killed myself, and I haven't jumped out the building, which I guess those are basically the same thing.
what
But I
day is
don't even
this?
hate myself.
January
I feel
7th.
pretty good. I got a rank 1 parse on Ursoc. I got a lot of really other good
All right.
parses, and I feel like I'm in
Respectable.
the best position possible to perform as well as I can. I don't like whenever I feel like I could do better, I could be better, but because I don't have X, Y, or Z, I'm not really quite there yet. I don't really like to feel like I'm on an uneven playing field, or there's something else that I can do more, right? And I guess for the most part, it's always good to really work towards a goal. And to me personally, artifact power is very different than Titan Forging or the... Excuse me. I had Taco Bell earlier. Apparently I'm having it again. Is very different than the Titan Forging and Legendary system, because artifact power is consistent and it also has an end goal, right? After you get 54 traits, until they add any more traits, after you get 54, you're done, right? There's no, 55th trait is like some random thing that you can get, or it costs like 20 million artifact power or anything like that. After you get 54, you're done, and that's it. And there's always something to be said. There really is, to have consistent, meaningful content that you can make progression on that has a rewarding and tangible end goal. And I feel like that's actually what used to make this game great, and artifact power fulfills that
Wait, he said he had
goal.
Taco Bell, but what's this Panda Express bag doing here? Doubling up?
In a pretty good way. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't have its downsides, though, and that's kind of what I want to
that was
talk about
breakfast?
with you
Oh, here
guys
it comes.
also. Now, if I can get like a little bit of TLDR here, I think the artifact power system is pretty good. I think they
Interesting.
probably should have done something to make, I guess, like farming raids or something like that be a bigger source of AP, since it's like generally harder to do.
I remember a lot of
And
people
I think
hated
that,
AP at this
more
time.
difficult
It's kind of an
content
interesting
should have
take.
been more AP, so you don't have to just farm Maw of Souls like 4 over and over and over. But other than that, I think that the AP system has been generally okay. probably my biggest complaint with it, I guess, besides all of the feeling compelled to play, which we'll talk about in a few minutes here. But my biggest complaint with it is the way that the artifact knowledge system, artifact knowledge increases the amount
Artifact
of
knowledge was so
power you
fucking
get
dog
by
shit.
a huge margin.
It was
right?
literally troll.
So if all you had to do is just wait for like 3 days, and all the time you spend now, you're kind of wasting a percentage of that time because you can spend less time just literally by waiting a few days, and you basically do that more and more and more. And so I feel like in Legion, there's been so much time gating and everything like that it's kind of created a system and a mindset of apathy where you feel like you want to do something, you want to actually go and farm something, you want to work towards something, but you know in the back of your head that all I have to do is just wait, maybe for artifact knowledge, in this circumstance, maybe a few days, or maybe for something else, maybe a week or two, and it's going to be easier. And I feel like doing that and having that kind of a system creates people to just say, well, fuck it, I'm not going to do it right now, I'll do it later. And I think a lot of people probably just never do it at all. And creating that system and that mindset of apathy, I don't really think has ever been positive for anything, not even in video games. But, you know, you guys know, like, all like those motivation things that you see on fucking Facebook that people post about how,
Holy
don't
fuck,
say you do it
Facebook.
tomorrow, but like going to the gym or whatever. And this is kind of the same thing, of course. Instead of going to the gym, you're going to Maw of Souls. But the point still remains is that, you know, it creates...
All right, you know what? I think he's onto something. I understand why this guy was popular now. This guy's fucking hilarious. God damn it! Why wasn't he, dude? Why did he become a grifter? His content was funny as fuck. Oh shit. Okay, I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting take. Oh god. He was great back in the days. Oh no, for sure. He was good for a while, and then he stopped wanting to play World of Warcraft about halfway through BFA, and then had to pivot his content into insane shit. Am I going crazy, or didn't we ask for Blizzard to respect our time so we don't have to log in every single day and grind, and now we ask to get that back? Is time a full circle? I think as players, okay, my take on this is kind of, yes, I will say that was asked for by the player base, but I do think players were wrong. And when I say players were wrong, I think it was something that's what players believed that they want, but in reality, I wouldn't be shocked if it was actually a lot more nuanced than that. It wasn't that players wanted a reason to not log in every single day. It was because the content that was served to us in Shadowlands, remember the Chorgast memes and shit like that? It was more so that the content served to us in Shadowlands was fucking bad, frankly. Like, it was just not very good content. And I think that was, like, the ultimate cause of the problem. Not necessarily that we don't want to log in every single day and play, because I think as a video game, you actually want to be compelled to have something to do every single time whenever you log in, right? Like, every single time I log into TFT, what do I want to do? Well, I want to queue up a game of TFT. Every single time I log into any other video game, I actually want to log in and play. I think that the issue was the constant stream of feeling like you needed to do bad content. That's not very enticing, right? The content was, mandatory if you wanted to continue to progress your character, and it was not rewarding in an enticing way. And I think that is kind of the ultimate issue, not so much the fact that the game didn't respect our time. Yeah, like, respecting your time, you're playing a video game, right, at the end of the day. But I think that as players, we gave bad feedback. But also, it's Blizzard's ultimate job to, like, figure that shit out on their own. Yeah, like, Torghast was terrible. I mean, what was a Torghast? A Bellular video. I'm out. I'm out on watching the Bellular video. If there was a Preach video, I'd watch it. That's tier stream. Do you like it? Torghast is incredible. shit was terrible.
Wait. Okay. Going.
Pre-hype Torghast for launch. Well, Torghast was different on the alpha. Torghast was... So they originally made Torghast to be like... kind of what delves are now. Maybe a little bit different. Yeah. But Torghast was originally designed to be kind of what delves are, and then they decided that you had to do them. And then they decided that it was completely different, right? Because it used to be an infinitely... It used to be like delves, but there was no delve limit. It was actually a roguelike. It was like it was genuinely built as like a roguelike if that was implemented into World of Warcraft. But then it got changed to not, instead of being the 100-floor gauntlet, it got changed into being some fucking 8-floor legendary farming simulator, which was terrible. Where every run felt the same, and they tied it to player power in a way that was like pretty unfun. And so then it changed from being something that you did like in your spare time whenever you were kind of bored to something you had to do every single week, and that made it unfun. And then they released the Jailer's Gauntlet, which was the almost the original idea of what Torghast was, and that was way better. The Jailer's Gauntlet thing was like that boss rush mode that they did, and that shit was fun as hell. Especially compared to like what Torghast ended up being. What does Preach end up saying?
Oh, there was some 400Ks in there, Finn. There was...
Doug, you hit my keyboard. What happened?
Alright.
Reload this.
Are you ready?
Doug,
Right.
you motherfucker, get off the keyboard.
Wait. Okay. Going. Setting up. Oh, there was some 400Ks in there, Finn. There was some 400Ks. Oh, that was dirty. That
Torghast
was
sucked.
so dirty.
I mean, it was really just not fun content.
Welcome to Torghast. I was so excited for this place. For so long, we've been asking Blizzard to let us just kind of let loose and have fun without wrecking the game. And Warfronts and Islands seemed like the perfect opportunity for that, where we could have had vehicles and crazy things happening. But it's localized in those environments. And now they've finally done it, and boy, did they do a good job. For a first draft, my god, they should be proud of themselves for this thing. Torghast finally launched. We can only do it on 4.
So what happened?
Hold on, he's onto something.
How can it be that one of the most promising features of the Shadowlands that absolutely destroyed BFA's Islands and Warfronts, let's be fair right now, is considered to be less than ideal, if we're being generous? What in the God's name happened with this feature? How did it go from something that people ran so many tens of thousands of times during the alpha and the beta and loved it, even when it had absolutely no rewards tied to it, comes out, has some rewards tied to it, and then is met with absolute, like, I hate this. What on earth happened? Well, let's look at a quick history, and we're also not just going to dump on Torghast, because I truly believe that Torghast is still one of the most promising features that Blizzard has put in the game in a very long time. I would hold it next to Garrisons in terms of potential. Now, I know a lot of you hate Garrisons. However, the idea, the premise, is good. It's just that when, and this is my biggest fear, the community has a very negative idea of a certain feature, Blizzard tends to kill it outright rather than iterating on it, growing on it. Garrisons had what we hoped was a lot of customization and features like that. What we actually got was a very pre-planned, set-in-stone kind of idea, which didn't have any display of our character, had no display of our personality, and we didn't enjoy them too much. They became little Farmville fun games, which may have been Blizzard's intention all along, however our imaginations took us somewhere else. This time it's a little different. Torghast didn't promise something and not deliver. If anything, we went into it not really expecting much. What we found in the early testing was a very simple idea. You had the choice of normal, heroic, and then mythic modes. you choose the highest difficulty, and off you go. And it gives you all this range of floors. Remember the huge amount of floors that you could do initially in Torghast, where your characters got absolutely absurd, and they let powers run wild inside there. You could become so much more powerful than you possibly can now. So there comes the first thing. We asked during the feedback for Torghast for more. That's all we wanted. More of this, more combinations, more boss fights, more things if you're doing really well. The difficulty is good. It starts off very, very hard in some cases, and then you work your way up to try and getting a run going. Yeah. Very similar to what these were based on. Roguelikes. That's what they were based on. They were based on your Binding of Isaacs, your Faster Than Lights, and of course the more modern Hades. Those are the kind of games this was the inspiration for. But somewhere along the way, they lost their path. They lost their ideal. They lost the initial goal.
It was one of the things. I think it actually got designed to be made for everybody, and so then it ended up being made for nobody, right? I think that that's kind of the ultimate problem with Torghast specifically, is that they lost the plot for who it was made for, and by trying to make it to where everybody is able to, do Torghast, excel at Torghast, have fun in Torghast, they actually almost ostracize the people who would have enjoyed the systems as a whole. I think that that's kind of where they fucked it up.
They didn't lose it, but they had to try and tie it back to the more casual player base of World of Warcraft, which isn't a negative thing, it's just how do you go about doing that? So while we were screaming for more, yes. Blizzard implemented less. So over the testing, we saw they dramatically cut the number of floors you could possibly do. Yeah. Then they came with the two different systems, and Torghast started to expand, especially as it got more popular. The more the feedback grew positive, the more Blizzard decided to add to it. And by adding to it, that often meant taking away. They no longer wanted these dramatic long runs where people were spending 4 or 5 hours in Torghast. Instead, they cut it down to the 6-floor wings you guys are more commonly accustomed to. This brought with it some warnings, especially from people like myself. It's not that fun at 6 floors. It's not that interesting. Please don't do this. Then they decided that, oh, you guys really liked the long runs. We're going to put the twisting corridors in. This is going to give you 18 floors, which was still really, really low by the standards that people were used to.
It was originally 100. Yeah.
Okay. 18 floors is better than 6, still doesn't allow your character to become completely absurd, but then they offset it. They said, this is just for fun. You guys say you're enjoying this for fun, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to put cosmetic rewards in there. So obviously, this is where your imagination runs wild again. This is where you start thinking about the huge, enormous amount of cosmetic and fun things that they added to islands. Everything from pirate outfits to pets and mounts, all kinds of collectibles that were available in Torghast. And as you well know now, that didn't materialize. So we'll circle back to that later.
PTR is one server. Yeah.
Idea then. What's the worst thing you can do with something like Torghast or with any roguelike in general? Force people to do it.
Yes.
This is always going to be a risk. Once it's mandatory content, that really changes the dynamic of this kind of game. The whole point of roguelikes and the inspiration for Torghast is that you should do them at your own pace. Some people like to go slow, some people like to go fast, some people like to be overpowered, some people prefer more difficult underpowered runs, but they could do whatever they feel like. If they want to mix it up and do something different, that's entirely on them. First of all, there's nowhere near the variety of powers to offer that. And I don't really expect World of Warcraft to be able to deliver the type of variety that is existent in games built specifically to be a roguelike experience. Yet unquestionably, there could be more. It's pretty standard at this point that you would expect to find X amount of certain powers every single time you do Torghast. The likelihood is you always kind of gravitate towards a similar build, and the chances of even getting that build are pretty common. There are going to be some runs, especially on limited 6-floor runs, where you don't quite get what you want, but for the most part, you're going to see the same sort of powers every time you go in. However, when you look at a lot of roguelikes, the chances of seeing the exact same powers, or at least...
I think the issue with Torghast specifically was just that it was not that fun. Like, I think it ended up just really not being that fun. What did Asmongold? What did he end up saying about Titan Forging? Are Mythic Plus Dungeons and Titan Forging making raiding irrelevant? Holy fuck. I'm pretty sure the answer to this is like no, right? What he's gonna say.
What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold, and today I want to talk to you guys about Mythic Plus and...
Asmongold used to be good whenever he talked about World of Warcraft. His content, his WoW content specifically, was like really, really good. And then he became a political streamer, and then I refuse to watch him now. Yes, they still do.
Increasingly seeing
Was
it
his parse
play
good? Yeah, he was actually good at
in
WoW.
Progression gearing. Now, the reason I'm making this video and what kind of brought this to my attention is that I opened up my character tab and I was just looking through my gear to see what I could use.
Yeah,
for
the Grifter
upgrades,
arc
what I
is-
could do to kind of get
The Grifter
myself
arc
to
is
that
bad.
next level.
Old Asmongold was
And,
good.
Besides relics, there's only about a half a dozen items that I have on my character that I've even got.
I normally use it to like to look back on things and be like, what were people saying about this content whenever it was current, right? Like to me, that was like that's the reason. This by the way is this is by far one of my favorite videos of all time. I fucking love this video.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to look at how to become an elitist in World of Warcraft. Now, before we really get into the nitty-gritty, to the specifics, the guide here, I do want to clear up some confusion, some misconceptions that people might have about becoming an elitist in World of Warcraft. Now, the first main misconception that people have is that you have to be good at World of Warcraft, right? You have to be good at the game to be an elitist. Now, guys, this is completely false, all right? Let me tell you something. Like, with my guide, with my help, you can become an elitist today. You don't have to wait for any fucking achievements, any item level, anything like that. And that's the second misconception, is that people think you have to have a certain item level. You have to have a certain amount of achievements, so specific achievements to become an elitist. Now, while this is partially true, I'm going to show you guys how to get around that. Now, the first thing we're going to look at here is item level. And see, the thing with item level is that it's just a number, and you're a player. And so you could entirely be a 589 player trapped in a 529 character. And so what you want to do, whenever people ask you your item level, tell them the item level that's in your heart, not the one that's on your character.
Dude,
now,
holy
obviously,
fuck.
What, you know, the fat, no-life, neckbeard nerd losers are going to do is they're going to look you up online and they're going to say, hey, you're actually not 589, you're 476. And so obviously what you have to do is you have to figure out different ways to pretty much divert this, to misdirect this this attention. And so one of the best ways to do this is to link fake achievements. And what you want to do here is there's a website that actually allows you to create achievements to link in game that you didn't actually earn. And so this
I forgot about this
shit. One-stop shop to becoming an elitist. Like this is if you don't know anything else in this video, this is the most important thing. That's not even true. There are a lot of important things, but this is one of them, okay? And so what you want to do is that you want to link these fake achievements. And then again, you know, the fat, no-life, neckbeard nerd losers, what they're going to do is they're going to go on Armory again, and they're going to say, hey, you don't have this on your account. And so obviously, guys, I've got you covered. Don't worry about it. And so the first thing that you want to do is you want to try, you know, the real easy thing, which is to say it's on a different account. Okay. Now this is the best way to do it because the you know, then they can't really necessarily say it's not, but what they will try and do is they'll ask you, well, what was that other account? And so what you want to do now is that you want to say that it's on a character that you can't search anymore because it has an alt letter. Okay. And so it would be too hard for you to actually prove it to them.
God.
But at the same time, they can't prove you wrong. And so this is probably one of the best ways of doing this. Now,
are we giving this Nazi more
this
views?
is
Okay,
for,
well, I don't think he's a Nazi.
Our real, I
do
guess,
think
like
he's
our alpha male.
not a great guy.
Is
but...
that what you want to do? Is it, especially this works really well, guys. If you're in TeamSpeak, Mumble, Skype, Ventrilo, is it as soon as they start to question you, you yell, you hold down your push to talk button and you yell, "Get good, kid, you're fucking terrible," and then you just say faggot over and
my
over.
God.
Now,
what the fuck? Okay, I'm out. Jesus. What the fuck? All right, I'm done. Holy shit. Why did he say that? Oh my God. All right.
Burn through that as quickly as possible and end that AoE fear phase.
My favorite part of that video was whenever he was talking about queuing into fucking LFR and linking the damage meters. I did not know he was gonna rip that in that fucking video. Holy shit.
And we do see Lust come out on the side of Battle for Champions.
Oh my God. That was not what I expected. Yep, we're back to the MDI. Holy fuck. I was not ready for that. Oh, You were allowed to say that back then. You definitely shouldn't have, but people definitely did. All right. Oh my god. That just made me very uncomfortable. Holy fuck. All right. When do they turn on the fucking servers? I'm out of content. Yeah, oh my god. I don't think he's a Nazi. Well, I don't think he... I don't know. Not until tomorrow? No, they announced not until tomorrow yesterday, right? Is delayed until tomorrow, but that was 19 hours ago. Oh, you expect me to check out articles first? You know, valid. With a different slur? Oh, thank God. Insane. I cannot believe that that's just... Oh, fucking, I'm so fucking stupid. I can't not believe that I just showed that on my fucking stream. God damn it. I should have known better. Whatever. What do they do? Is Boomy good? I mean, they definitely buffed it. Slow down the pacing on all boss encounters. So what? Slow down the amount of puddles that spawned on the last boss, or debuffs that went out on the last boss. Slow down the ad spawns on the second boss, and slow down the circle drops on the first boss, probably. That's what you get? Yeah, I fucking deserve that, apparently. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah. All good. Change feature pack, composition, and adjusted ability packages to simplify pacing. So this is probably related to, like, the, So, like, the big blueberries up top and the bolters, probably just, they changed the composition of those packs. I mean, see. Ellesmere, Ruby, Life, Pools. What was a good run this season? 25 or something? 26? First boss cast sequence should be better now? Yeah. God. Thundering. Well, now. So these mobs, these Blazebound Destroyers, they were like... with these Cinder Weavers, and I mean, these packs are just unfucking believable. I wouldn't be... These packs, I would not be shocked if they got changed in some capacity. Do you think there's an equivalent split of utility versus throughput for Raid 2? More or less impactful? I think utility is more impactful in Raid, but... Because with Mythic Plus, I think... utility is this thing that you just get the utility that you have, right? Like, it's like whatever utility you have is whatever utility you have. Where for Raid, there's so many slots in a Raid. By having more slots, any utility that actually allows you to kill a boss a little bit quicker is thus way more valuable because it's one slot in a Raid giving you significantly more value, right? I think utility is arguably more impactful then, but it depends on like what you're talking about, right? So like a warlock gate, for example, or like a DK grip. A DK gripping a mob on top of a stack. Yeah, like a DK gripping a mob on top of a stack. In Mythic Plus, yeah, it's nice that that mob got gripped in. In Raid, the grip allows the mob to be killed on time, and I think that that's kind of the difference. Grip isn't utility, it's throughput. I mean, I definitely think that grip is utility. But I think that then that DK, while if his throughput's lower, that grip is worth a certain amount. I mean, time spiral on Raz, right? There's a decent amount more utility in Raid that is actually required than utility in Mythic Plus that's required. It's very infrequent that you see Mythic Plus utility that's required. But for like Razageth, time spiral was mandatory for, like stuff like that, right? I guess in theory, maybe it wasn't mandatory, but I don't know how some of these specs would have fucking lived. Like, in theory, you could have just played specs that could always keep themselves on the entire time. But it wasn't all the specs. Even fucking DK would have got launched if they didn't have Spiral. Yeah, so they changed some of the comps for this. Changed the patrols of Thunderhead and Flame Gallet to occur on the ground. Thank fucking God. These guys are cringe as hell. So now they're not going to, fly into you? I wonder if we're going to get that bug. You see this? You see how Onesie's running here? There was a bug where if you were mounted whenever you ran upstairs, you would run sideways for forever. I wonder if we're gonna get that bug again. Chillstorm's movement force has been reduced. That's good. Frigid Shards is now interruptible. This was the ability that got the clip. This is my first time in this dungeon. Now this is a kickable cast. It's happening in Time Walking. Okay, so it's probably still there. Infused Whelp's Cold Claws is now a melee proc instead of a cast. Okay, so your tank is going to get fucking destroyed. Okay. What was the timer in here? 30? Okay. Sinful Cethralus was heavily adjusted to address pain points concerned from previous iterations. These are some of the key changes. Rework the gauntlet sequence prior to the final boss to remove the need for a player to be in timeout while energizing an orb. I think we knew this, right, from Time Walking? I thought they changed this shit forever ago. Like seasons and seasons and seasons ago. Redesigned ability packages and trash pack spawning. Consistency and counterplay opportunities. Oh, I mean, there was shit like what? Like invisible cleaves from the Kroluk Rider guys. I don't even know. What was this dungeon done on? 29 or something? 28? He's just showing the fucking boss. I wanted to see the dungeon. 26 is fine. Merektha was horrible. So these Krolusk Riders did like an invisible fucking... There were so many things that like you couldn't even tell what you were taking damage from. I think the Riders also put up like a purgeable lightning shield on themselves that just like did damage to you. I wouldn't be shocked if a bunch of that shit's gone. Yeah, miss Fat Boss. Alex is fucking sick. Poison Cheap Shot can now be interrupted. This was troll. So what this was there were mobs at the very beginning that were invisible, and they would come out of the they would come out of the invisibility and fucking and stun your tank. Like that was really stupid. Wasn't it thorns? Yeah, it was a purgeable thorns. That's what it was. I called it a lightning shield, but yeah, it was basically thorns. I miss Alex. That guy's the fucking best. It's these Shrouded Fang mobs, I think. Yeah, look at this guy. So these Shrouded Fang mobs instantly cheap shot the fucking tank. This guy last stands before even getting in combat. What a fucking joke. So that mechanic is criminal. Poison Cheap Shot can now be interrupted. So it's no longer like an instant cast ability. It's now interrupt. Adderus and Aspis adjusted their health swap to be on a health threshold to provide damage resistance rather than inflicting damage to the attacker. Thank God. So DR is actually good too, because now you're not going to have... So first off, you could accidentally one-shot yourself very frequently. But secondly, there were some specializations like Blade Dance from Havoc Demon Hunter and Ignite from Mage, for example, that would just like do damage even though they had the shield up. So this is way better. Use pacing and structure of the account. I wonder if they're going to allow you to spell reflect the tornadoes still. They didn't mention that. You meeting up with Growl? Is Growl going to BlizzCon? So this is the Cyclone Strike. This is what I was talking about. And your tank would spell reflect it and do about a fucking billion damage. Reworked ability package to improve mechanical clarity and engagement. Thank God. Change burrow so now Marekthra reemerges immediately after defeat of the Az rather than on a timer. Thank God. Both of these are good changes. God bless. Do I get to meet Tails at BlizzCon? I will be at BlizzCon, yes. If you see me, say hello. I will be working, but I'll definitely be around. So if you do see me, please say hello. You'll feel more than free to introduce yourself. I'd love to meet everybody. Remove galvanized vulnerability debuff. Galvanized vulnerability debuff. Okay, so when you soaked the pillar, how does this fight work? When you soaked the pillars, you got a debuff? Oh yeah, that's right. So you had to juggle who was soaking when. So stupid. I actually forgot that was part of the mechanic. It's probably this is probably better for like pugs, right? For people who aren't in voice with one another. Improved consistency of lightning spire spacing and behavior. Oh yeah, because you could get two that were like on top of one another, and that was really fucking annoying. Or if you had your rogue's cloak, it was goated. So they're probably spawning further from one another. It's probably time of which they spawn and become active is a little bit different. Are you casting for BlizzCon MDI? Yeah, I am. Fucking stoked. Avatar Sethralus, completely redesigned to encourage more group participation in the healing of the... So, I know they reworked this guy for time walking. What exactly is different about him? So he was like time-based for healing. I remember that. You cast in a race too? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be real busy. And then I'm gonna do my 0 to hero after I come back from BlittersCon. Orbs on the ground after waves? Oh, interesting. What's the theme for 0 here? TBD? TBD. People on my Patreon are going to vote for the melee spec that I'm playing, though. I'm not sure what we're voting between yet, though. I'll figure it out later. Yeah, it's going to be melee DPS. It's going to be melee DPS, and basically I'm going to be going to like the 1% title. Yeah. So I'm not going to be doing like a season-long achievement because, well, I can't get a fucking YouTube video out about it in time. But like my goal is going to be to be inside the top 1% for DPS. As a Feral main, I have hope. Yeah. And a poll tax? Well, somebody's got to pay $10,000 for their flooded basement, so I need money, as it turns out. I'm fucking broke. Yeah, no. People are going to vote on it. It'll be fun. This was cringe. I remember this fight being cringe. I wonder if they're going to keep the damage amp at the very end. Because that was kind of the interesting part of the boss, was that you could actually backpull some trash and you could kill it with, like, you got a 90% DR and did 90% more damage or something like that. So what you would do is you would, like, backpull all this trash and kill it all. But I wouldn't be shocked if this gets changed, too. Do you have a pool now? I don't have my basement, man. Holy fuck. I'm still bathwater again? Oh my god, dude, this is 2018 all over again. What IO should I get to? Whatever IO makes you happy. Okay, so that's getting reworked. King's Dressers received some significant adjustments to creature abilities, boss encounter pacing, and tuning outliers on certain spells. Here's some of the key changes. Updated most creatures' ability packages across the dungeon. Yeah, I mean... 26? Or this is like... Oh my god, a Pieces video featuring Andy Brew. What the hell? Oh my god, Andy Brew. Young Andy Brew. I remember, so there was like a couple of things that I thought were really cringe about this dungeon. So I think that like the trash gauntlet after the first boss was really fucking stupid. And then I think that like a lot of the bleeds, so the bleeds got put on nearest player after this boss. And that was really dumb. I hope they make the keys a little bit harder so titles at a lower level. I don't know if that's is that an issue of the keys not being hard enough? I thought that was an issue of mostly of resilient. Yo, what up? So these berserkers were like diabolical, and then these hex priests, they would flame shock players at frost shock players at random, and that would just do like your entire health bar worth of fucking damage. So this entire area was really stupid. Because as well, like the rogue gets bled here. And you're supposed to just heal through it. It was really ridiculous. I mean, that shit needs to be changed. I just don't think that the mechanics from these berserkers and witch doctors just does not make sense. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at something. Got sent a message about something. Alright. We're good. Season 2's a bleed season for sure. I mean, it really depends on how KR turns out. I think the thing with Meld is like Meld is always good, and bleed removal is only good in specific instances, right? Meld is always good because if you ever get aggro, Meld is just really strong. Shadow Meld is just generically quite good. How much do you think the 0.1% title is going to go up next couple weeks with the Folio buff? I wouldn't be shocked if it goes up another like half key level to a full key level. We got like 40 points. I think it was 30 points the last week of last season. And so I wouldn't be shocked if it goes up like 60, 70 points perhaps in total with the Folio buff plus more stuff. So we'll see like, you know, half 23s, half 22s, like 22 Brazil, half 23s maybe. But we'll have to see. I was originally speculating that it was going to be like close to 23 Resilient, but maybe it's going to be a little bit lower than that. It really depends on how much people are playing. I feel like I always underestimate how much people are going to play. 4,100. I think it's going to be almost 4,200. Nuke Shadow Melt like they nuked Arcane Torrent. Yeah. I think Meld is way stronger than old Arcane Torrent was. Meld just does it all. It's just very generically strong. Didn't old Arcane remove all dispellable debuffs? No, old Arcane silenced mobs. And gave you resources. it was like a pissant amount of resources, but it was the AoE silence. It was like hitting them with the fucking sigil silence for 2 seconds. I have no idea. I'm not sure if next season. I wouldn't be shocked if next season is about the same difficulty as this season. The latest eye level post? Wait, what? What did I say? No. What? Item levels increasing in Midnight Season 2. What? Looking at players' gear in Midnight Season 1, but improved by upgrades, void cores, and powerful loot that became available in 12.0.7, we need to make sure that Season 2 is offering meaningful upgrades to players. It's probably do this 4-fall raid, right? Based on early PTR feedback, it's clear that a 39 item level increase isn't quite enough. I'm going to do a 46. Oh. So what are we at right now? Like 290? 293? 292? So champion level gear is going to almost always be an upgrade for us? Yeah, I mean that's... what's the Sporefall gear? 299? Let me fucking log into live. 298? Okay. So champion track gear is almost always going to be an upgrade. Which that's good. I think that's a good change. Yeah, I really don't think that you should. I don't think you should be able to go into the next season and then normal raid is completely obsolete. Now normal raid is almost always obsolete outside of tier after 1 week, but I don't really like it being obsolete immediately. It's unfortunate. I think it's a good change. I guess LFR is still on the table because of tier, right? Why not? I think the new I think whenever you do new content, it should be more rewarding than last season's gear, mostly. Shadow of Zul can now move while casting Shadow Barrage. Dark Revelation has been updated to only inflict damage to players within 20 yards. What's Dark Revelation? I thought Dark Revelation was the fucking puddle on the ground, but that doesn't make sense. It's probably Pool of Darkness is the puddle on the ground. A fall-off explosion? I mean, it must have been. It must have been that circle that she put on, that Zul put on the players. It must be this. Did this not do fall-off damage? Normal raid in that same category? I don't think that normal raid is in the same category, because I feel like normal raid is supposed to be new seasonal content where Prey and Delves are not. I guess I don't really know how this used to work, frankly. I mean, this looks like it does fall off damage. I guess maybe it did fall off damage, and the max amount of fall off damage was after 20 yards, or the minimum amount of fall off damage was after 20 yards. I mean, I'm looking at this and it looks... maybe it said it's supposed to be 0 damage after 20 yards, and this was a very small amount. Pool of Darkness damage reduced by 30%. Each pulse now increases player's damage taken from the spell by 20%. Didn't you just, like, range this shit? Wasn't the Pool of Darkness, like, a thing that you would never soak unless it was, like, in dead melee, and then you would outrange it? That's what I remember this being. Oh my god, they got the Void Weaver mouth here. Samrek the Beckoner. The Blob. I don't even remember the other ones. Samrak Beckoner of Chaos. Urgroth Breaker of Souls. I do remember them, holy fuck. Voidweaver Mouthier, and then whatever the fuck the blob was called. The blob. You wouldn't soak because soaking scaled with the Mythic Plus modifier, whereas not soaking was scaled to M0. Oh. So it's probably gonna be fixed. You're probably gonna have to soak. Yeah, I mean, I think that these changes for gearing is good. Like, I don't think that you should like show up out gearing normal. Not that you're not gonna do that anyways. Like, I mean, you're just gonna slam down a bunch of Mythic Plus runs and out gear normal almost immediately anyways. Wonder if guilds will split the layer boss on Mythic? Oh, that is a good fucking point. I don't see a reason not to, right? Did they delete Og from the meta yet? Yes. Og got a fucking giga nerf. It might still be good, but the gameplay is way different. I think it got hella nerfed though. All right, I don't know. I assumed that the servers were going to come up at some point. I guess I'll be back tomorrow. I'm out of content. I ran through my content. I slammed down a 3.5 hour yapping stream. And now I'm out. I was waiting. Dude, I had plans. I had plans for today. I brought the fucking MDI review to the table. Fellowship? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we should have played Fellowship. But, alright, whatever. I'm gonna raid Zorthas. Raid Zorthas. Dude, I'm a fucking idiot for that. That was not intentional. God damn, I'm mad about that, actually. Alright, I'm gonna work on a YouTube video. Call my fucking... Alright, GG skis.